Welcome to the close. We have 2 hours left in the trading session. Yeah, and only one more day after this to go before we wrap up the year. Pretty muted session once again right across the board as far as North American markets are concerned. But hey, we're positive, so we'll take it at this point. 0.15 there for the S&P 500. The Dow up 0.09, 0.25% for the Nasdaq, leading the way, which has been a bit of a change over the past couple of sessions. TSX here in Toronto, nice bump for mining stocks, some energy getting some support as well for the TSX here, 0.23 in Toronto, 1.2 for Brazil, 0.63 there for crude oil. As I mentioned, energy stocks bouncing back nicely. Bitcoin, speaking of bouncing back, 1.4% to the upside. Ethereum in positive territory by an entire full percent there. So a nice look to wrap things up. It's Thursday, it's not Friday, so we're not wrapping up yet. But here we go. Lay of the land for you. It is consumer discretionary stocks leading the way over here as far as positivity is concerned. Some of the casino names, some of the hotels back in positive territory. Wynn, Caesars, LVS, to name a few, all up 2%. Target, GPS, Etsy, 2 or 3 days in a row here for the retailers having a nice rally to cap off the year. BIIB, really the big story to the downside today. Biogen off as Samsung Group says, nope, they're not interested. OGN down here 3% to the upside. Healthcare equipment makers all in positive territory. I mean all, every single one of them in positive territory. Yeah, Twitter still pushing highs on the day. In fact, 4.9%, Viacom, Match, Discovery, all looking quite good. Let's get a quick check of the NASDAQ, and we'll get into some of the opportunities we were talking about in the pre-market here. Communication stocks, as I mentioned, look at Baidu, 10.5% today for Baidu. Chinese stocks having quite the day. Alibaba as well. Really nice rally for Alibaba. There's PDD, there's JD.com. Peloton, so what were we at yesterday? I think 76% on the year. So I guess we're back to about 70% on the year now for Peloton, but we keep picking on Peloton. Let's talk about a few things we were discussing in the pre-market this morning. As we do to kick things off every afternoon, we'll have a look back at some opportunities that we presented. Join us every day, guys, at 8:30. We take you through what is to know in the pre-market and get you ready for the open at 9:30. Sean's going to lead the way here with a look at one of his trades.
Hey traders, yeah, good. Thank you, Brendan, for bringing that up. I mean, there's been a big movement today in a lot of different names, and I feel like we caught them early. We got Lucid. I mean, just look at this sticky note right here. Today, we put this out at 8 o'clock, right? Lucid today. Let's buy through 37. We actually did that. We have that. That's at 39.50 right now. You can see Palantir here. This is going to be the trade of the day. It's going to be Palantir, but let's just read what we talked about. Great trading yesterday, right? Let's play the long off of 1780. So we can close that, and now we'll go over here, and we'll just talk a little bit about what we looked at. We have a whole bunch of lines here. So this is the 1780 bottom, okay? That's what we played off yesterday. Those of you that were watching, we talked about taking longs in front of 18. We made a nice trade at the end of the day off some 18 support. But there it is right there. The 1780 goes all the way back, couple days, weeks, back down there where we sort of identified that level. Doesn't mean it can break. Yeah, it can break easily, but that's giving us a reason to go long and off of something. So as long as the futures keep on pumping to the north side, I like this Palantir spot. And then I put another line right here, 18, because yesterday at the close, we were looking at 18, bouncing around a little bit there in the pre-market. So yeah, we wanted to get long, and that's exactly what we wind up doing. This is going to look a little bit crazy here. Actually, we're almost getting close to getting out. I should have a stop order, I think, to break this 1875. So if you see a tick come in, that's going to be our last 25%. Well, look, it happens early, man. It's right there in the pre-market. We get an 18 fill. So we actually go long at like 1802, all right? Great fill off the open. And then it's just like, boom. We actually put this order because yesterday we were just scalping around on Palantir. So we actually take 10 cents right early. We're like, you know what? We'll take this. If it just keeps bouncing around like it was doing here yesterday, you know, bounce, bounce, bounce. Like the highest we got is 1820. So we're like, okay, we'll take an 1810. We'll take 8 cents really quick. Boom. Then it goes to 20 and we get out. We're like, all right. Then it just keeps on going up, 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 keeps getting elevated. So out 25, 50, 75%. This is all within the first 2 minutes minutes of trading. So I was getting lit up. Like I was short everything, long everything. I think 4 or 5 positions here. Then we're like, you know what? Let's let this ride. And then as you can see, we have a little bit of a channel here. This is 1845. If we come back over here, you can see this is one of those levels where we didn't know what was going to happen up here. So we did want to get a little piece out ahead of 1850. And that's what we wind up doing right here, getting out at 1840. And then now it's elevate time. It's going back up to $19. You can see on the chart here, 19 really hasn't had much liftoff. I mean, we lift off a couple times, 1920, 1950, but you know, that should have been an out up there, but we're waiting. We're still holding on to 25% of this, but you got to have an out, and I'm picking 75. So I'm surprised one little tick down here and we'll get out of this trade live. We have a stop order in right now. Otherwise, I'm targeting, I mean, it's probably going to get ticked out, but if not, I'm targeting like an 1890, 1895 or so. It's Palantir. It's your trade of the day off some support. We love this name, and it's been a great day trading name to look forward to in the new year.
A lot of big movers this afternoon. Palantir, one of those. I was just looking at space as well. We'll talk about Virgin Galactic coming up here, along with Palantir a little bit more. But a lot of these stocks that we haven't really been focusing on over the past couple of weeks, popping back to the upside today after being quite, quiet in the pre-market. There really wasn't much sign of that. Speaking of the pre-market, that's the link to the watch list, guys. If you need it, absolutely free resource. We do all your homework for you, put it in one very neat package, and then send it out to you for free every single morning. I think we have a special guest, Randy, to kick things off this afternoon, sitting in for Mr. Arun.
It happens. It happens.
What is even going on here?
I've got autos on the top, and I've got the chips on the bottom.
Yeah, let's go to his screen.
I mean, Ford's just, there's nothing going on. Ford's just about flat on the day. Rivian up 4.5. Nah. But there's not a lot of volume. The market's a little sleepy. Look at the ES down here. It's just about flat. Not a whole lot going on. A sleepy market, you would say.
Have you ever traded the futures, like in your own account?
No,
or
have not.
No, why don't we talk about one of your last trades? I know that you were scalping in and out of Ford there, and I know you've been buying Tesla, getting out, back and forth.
Tesla earlier in the year. Ford I was in the last couple months, just barely. Just little trades that I did a little bit of research on, kind of trading the news. I don't know a lot like you guys do. I'm learning.
We don't know anything.
So come on. I think all of our traders know how much you guys can teach us. The chip stocks, I don't touch. Too much volatility. I know enough about the auto sector that I can probably play the news. I follow a lot on the news sites, on Reddit, on a lot of the news feed sites to keep up with what's going on, the EVs especially, but also the regular ones, the Volkswagens and the Mercedes-Benzes, and looking at the Asian car makers as well. We don't trade those on this show, but lots of auto news worldwide. So the chip stuff, everything's looking pretty.
Randy, tell everybody to hit
quiet.
the like button.
The like, it's like a clock.
It's like, stealing this video.
Oh, it's like a clock.
Now you're going to get in trouble for like a clock there. But guys, hit the like button if you can. Let's go on the show. Mr. Randy is in the building, subbing in for Arun. Not for a long time, but he'll be here for a couple more minutes. AMD right now. What a tank this one's been, man. We have diamond hands on the sell side of AMD. This is a name that we fought all day, man. All day. Boom, 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 boom. We had a whole bunch of like bullets in the chamber, as they say, my man, Randy.
Look at this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Holy cow.
Yeah, what do you like? You like that?
Look at all these breakouts here and down and down and down.
Yeah. A lot of breakouts there. Yeah, good call on that one. But I mean, you are a big tech guy. I mean, do you have an opinion? AMD, Nvidia, or is this maybe more of a Rob Sparkland thing?
No, Nvidia's. I mean, it's all the crypto is driving Nvidia.
Right.
That's all the GPUs and all and.
Oh, remember when you and I were going to put up a Bitcoin mining rig and we were going to use the company's hydro? Oops. Yeah. Well, we didn't do it, so it's okay.
Don't forget, a lot of cars on the road that have the AI and the auto driving capabilities have NVIDIA chipsets in them.
Yes.
So if NVIDIA's got shortages, it's going to affect all the automakers who are using their chipsets in their cars. So anyway, carry on.
It's like the Internet of Things, right? I mean, everybody, if everything, like we were just in Best Buy the other day, and the Samsung fridges, are all automatic. You can literally just open up the app. You can see what's inside of your fridge as you're shopping. If you're not sure of something, keeps everything right there for you. So I'm very, very excited. And I said to my kids, like, I'm just super excited about technology and what's in for the future, because, when you and I were in university, Randy, I mean, we were still using Blackberries, right? Right, Arun, over there? Oh. No, Blackberries aren't that old, are they? Okay, so just a quick here on AMD. We're in the money at $1.77, and I'm going to hold this the rest of the day. Let's just wait to see where it goes. We've already cashed in on AMD. We're flat on the day, and we talked about this in and a bunch of outs, and then we let this thing fall down. So my newest position, and I think you guys can all join me right now, I've just double shorted NIO, and I'm not going to do this anymore. You want to talk about car makers? I mean, Randy, this is up there we go, just took a piece out. This is up 15% today, and still rocking to the high side here. I believe we had some viewers tell us that NIO cars are rolling around in the southern states, but I don't know if they are in distribution in the U.S. Maybe if you guys can confirm that. But I just think this is a little bit too far here. 15% on obviously some good feels today for China. We've seen Alibaba go up as well, but right now we're short at 62, waiting for this thing to fall. Targets, man, I'm sitting here near the 50s, I believe. No, we just got that out. So 20s. So downside here, if we can get into this garbage, 32, between 32 and 32.20, that's what we're going to do for NIO. And it actually looks like I'm still in this rally. Like, get some relish for your hot dogs. That's actually a pretty good one, rally. I'm surprised I didn't use that hot dog thing yet for rally, but there it is. We'll go some hot dogs. This has been a long time since we've did this on the show, but there it is. Hopefully we can get some mustard ketchup for this and let this thing go back up to the upside. But right now we're sitting in here 670 to see if we can pick up some more relie ready to rock and roll. So Randy does look like a chill dude. It's because he is a chill dude.
GM's having a day, eh? Look at this.
GM, yeah, you're all about these automotives, eh? Okay, let's go over to GM.
2%.
Okay, let's real talk. Okay, GM or Ford, if you had to choose a stock to go with moving forward here. I don't know if you want to, that's a 5-minute chart. Maybe we better not change Arun's charts. Did you change the time?
Nope.
No,
I'm not gonna. No, we're not gonna. I'm not. No.
All right. So yesterday I asked you about Rivian, Ford, all those kind of things. If you were to just throw in $1,000 for right now, January 1st or 2nd, whenever the day is that we're going to open up.
Of the big three?
Any car, anything. You could choose Magna. You could choose any car maker, anything to do with the automotive space. If you had $1,000, or you can divide it up into two, whatever you want. But what?
Okay, I'm going to take two then. I'm going to take Tesla.
Okay.
And Ford. Reason being, Tesla Gigafactory 5 Berlin is not full production yet. Once they hit production in Europe, look out, folks, because there's a lot of pent-up demand in Europe. Yes, Audi and all the other ones have electrics out there, but Tesla's, a pretty hot commodity. And once they're making cars in Germany on home soil, it's going to be fun. Just like Gigafactory 4 in Shanghai, every 38 seconds, a car is coming out the door. Ford, I like their balance sheet. I like their electric platforms. The F-150 is going to sell like hotcakes. And I don't know, it looks better than the Tesla. Anything looks better than the Tesla. We had that discussion yesterday.
I was wondering about the Tesla look, eh? Like, I'm surprised they haven't really gone forward and changed that. I mean, Elon does whatever he does. I mean, that truck looks crazy.
Looks like a Fisher Price.
We were talking about that. Like, how cool would that be just to roll down your residential neighborhood in that Cybertruck?
Yeah, I had this discussion with Brendan. It's a bit of an attention getter, but
that you might not want.
Looks like a Fisher Price vehicle. But the Ford looks like a Ford. And good looking truck, and everybody wants one, and they're cheap. And Ford's got a great balance sheet. Great electric platform. Don't forget they have the Mach-E, which is selling crazy, and don't forget, they have the electric tie-up with Volkswagen.
Correct.
Which we don't mention often here because it's a European.
We can't say it's an ADR on the pink sheet.
Right, but they have that platform in their pocket as well. Yet to be used, but it's on its way. So I like Ford and Tesla out of the two for 2022.
All right, so Ford and Tesla, we'll have you back maybe every once in a while, hopefully at least every quarter, and we can update some of these positions. So thank you, Randy. It's been an absolute blast. We are going to get into some of our stocks of the year. So we just got two for you there from the automotive sector. But we're going to do that right now. Anything happening on the news front over there, Brendan? I mean, right now, I'm just kind of looking around, trying to find some different plays. I see Donkey Kong, DraftKings up to $28.50 and whatnot. What you got for us?
Yeah, a few names, as I was mentioning there off the top, guys, that were kind of names that we haven't looked at for the past couple of weeks popping up today. This was one of them. Virgin Galactic, they finally got that deal done. Next Gen Acquisition Corporation going to merge with Virgin Orbit. Obviously not related to space at all, but a huge day here, guys, for space. Nevertheless, we're trying to get back to this level, that kind of pre-gap level, which was 1380. So it is holding above that right now, but still decent volume here, even 7.5% today. I mean, we saw NEO up 15. So, I mean, Chinese stocks aside, Virgin Galactic here having quite the day.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait to see Neil back in the building tomorrow. And I think he's been really getting, I mean, we'll talk to him, but I thought he was talking about buying this thing into the 20s here. Now it's down to 14. I mean, if you do like Virgin Galactic, which I do not in this environment, man, not in 2022, not when the Feds turned hawkish, hawkish, right? I don't like that. I don't like the inflation talk. I don't like all this stuff here, not being able to provide profit at all. And then not only that, not only inflation, cost of goods, but what about the bump up in interest rates that are happening most likely 2 to 3 times this year, going to make cost of capital even higher now, and that's not going to be good for Virgin Galactic. So for me, it's a hard pass. We'll wait to see. I mean, it was such a great day today for a lot of these high valuation names, right? And so space, just another one. For me, and again, without doing a little more research on this name, this is where I would say this is a sell the news event today for space, and just watch it continue to fall back down in. Just like we got stopped out on our DD trade. I mean, good thing we got stopped out on this DD trade, by the way, guys. Look where this thing went up to. I was talking about shorting this thing at 5. So we got out of the way, Arun, like no problem. It was an easy out at 5.10, honestly. And then since then, it's never even came back. So I'm glad we got out of the whole thing here. As NEO, we took profit on a piece, and now we're losing on the second piece here. But you could see here, upside for DD today. Wow, 530. I think a lot of these plays, if they're not great companies, I'm going to disagree with Baba. I think Baba is a good company. They're just stuck. And I think JD, the same type of thing. Billy. But DD, we know, is in trouble here. They are delisting, so that'll come off your account and then go over there to HK. But yeah, for right now, DD with a nice move up. That's one that I'd fade. And I've also fade space today.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing across the board is a lot of names that were beaten up are just snapping up. We saw this earlier. Piton was also up decently. It's almost up 9% here. And then you're also seeing space. All of them snapping up after having a multi-day trend to the downside, almost like a month and a half wide now. And here we are on space. And here's the issue with space when it pops like this. It's going right into resistance. And we're seeing this on BABA as well, just because BABA is more, more popular at the moment. But space was a hot name, and now is kind of coming back to life a little bit here as the name gets back into everyone's minds here, but we are running into resistance. As we pop through 14, we've got a ton of action going back to early to December and mid-December inside of this 1450 area. So just be aware that in the event you go for the long, you have a limited upside. We really need to clear, I want to say, at least 15 before we can actually maybe be like, oh, you know what, we've got some support to work with that we can actually be confident in that long. So yes, today is a huge move to the upside. It's $1 to the upside on space, but we are running into resistance. So that's something to be aware of as we go into the next few days, right? As we go into the end of the year tomorrow and start of next year. If we go strong and we can maintain this kind of movement tomorrow and start the year off at least above 15, I think you really have a chance to go up on space.
Like, what is even going on with NEO right here? We'll look at that in a second. 146.78. Yeah, I don't mind that as an out here for AMD. So 146.70 right here. 68. I'm going to do a little higher than that. This is the level we're looking at. 146.80 will be an out for AMD. We are in the money. This is just in case the market goes back up. We already short NEO here, and we just don't need to be part of this move back to the upside. Let's just capture this profit. AMD, finally today, guys, it'll be case closed when we get out, but it's going to be a profitable name. Even if we get out up here at 80s, it's profitable. It was profitable once we broke VWAP. That's why we take that out, and now we'll wait to see here. Just holding on today. I cannot believe we didn't break that 149. That was a good save there. The reason that's a one-day range. Hold on a second. Let me see if we can do 20 minute. There's that 149. It's right there. Yep, okay, right here, 149. So we're lucky it didn't break that. I think that's something that Arun and I were both looking at. And I know you got fed up with it and you dumped it, but we sort of held on to that one until we got to that level. So far, so good. Like, I just consider myself really super lucky on AMD. No, I mean, more lucky on Tesla. We could review that chart. But what we're not getting very lucky on right now, and this is just my bad. I just didn't, honestly, I didn't believe that NEO was going to be running like this today. Not just today. I mean, for whatever happened today. But like the move that's even just happening right now, we based out here and then just took off again. Like, I was thinking that building of this base here and then this break back down led us to into here, into 32, which still gives this thing up 12% today. So I don't think this is an awful risk to reward right now if you're short. Look, I'm short lower. I'm short 65, 66. This is going to be a loser for me. I mean, it's going to break through 33. But if you want to talk about risk to reward right now, you could short NEO. This is like what we did on Palantir yesterday, man. When we were short or we went long in 18 and then went up to 18.16. It's, you could put on a decent amount of shares here, put your stop order at 33 even, and then you're laughing, right? Because, hey, if it goes back up, and let's just say a comfortable position for you is 1,000 shares. So if you put on 1,000 shares right now and it rips up, you're going to lose here $100. If it gets back down into 32, where it has a chance, it's not looking like it's going to go there, right? I don't know if your odds are very good on that one, but like 7 to 10 cents for an upside risk to possibly, and even if you don't want to go that low, even if you went back here into the 50s, right? That's still well worth the risk to reward. You're giving yourself like 8, 9 to 1, even if you just get back to where we were 20 minutes ago. So I like the risk to reward here. However, Arun, it's only good when it happens. And right now, it's looking like NEO wants to take out the top. This is a much different story than Palantir yesterday at 18. We're testing new levels right here. And I'm not even going to look at a 20-minute chart. I know NEO is off to the races here. So we're just going to punch out if it breaks, take our 35-cent hit. But here goes NEO right back up to the upside.
I was just double checking there, guys. The last time NEO did 100 million shares on the day, got to go all the way back to December 3rd, beginning of the month. So crazy volume on that stock so far today as well. Quickly, Teva. A few people still talking about this one. Back to day lows here for Teva Pharmaceuticals. $8 it tested on the initial move down, which is this level over here on the daily chart if you missed it. New court ruling going against them when it comes to the well-known opioid story. So Teva back to day lows at this point. I mean, if you zoom out here, this is multi-week, maybe even 52-week lows for this one.
All right, so we just got blown out. We did the same thing we did again. We just took double the shares on the short, back into the short here. We got taken out at 33.03. Our stop's going to be 33.10 on NIO. Like, whether or not we're going to make a mess of this or not, we're about to see. But right here, we're going to go short again on NIO right now and just see if that takes out that 33.10. So I apologize. I wasn't focused on your Teva talk there, but I think that was opioids, and it's obviously a pretty negative thing. But I'm going to try to manage this NIO position right here, as we're still short AMD, but now we're going to go back into the short now for NIO and see if we can't turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, Teva's got an interesting daily chart that we can actually work with. It's not going to be useful today, but it's something to keep an eye on, because look at that. We're hitting that 8 even level, which we've rejected about 3 or 4 times now. Every time we got there, one day we actually put some stops down. What is that, the 20th? So we took out some stops here all the way down to 778 or so. And here we are coming right back into that 8 even level. I think what you've got to watch out for is what happens. Are we going to bounce and fail? If we can get a bounce and fail back into 8, shorts are on the table now. It's just a matter of how do we trade around this 8. It's a nice little move to the downside into an area that we got to keep an eye on. It may not be in play today, but definitely something to keep an eye on for the next couple of days, because I think at 8 even, you're either going for the long or you're going for the short, and it all depends on whether we are able to bounce strong or bounce and fail. And I think that's definitely an important thing to keep an eye on.
All right, it is that time of year when a lot of people are coming out with not only what happened or look back at the year that was, but looking forward as to what we can expect, guys, heading into the new year. It's that time of year where we like to pull a few names out of a hat, if you will, and say, hey, watch these going into the new year for whatever reason. Let's get into a few stocks that we can maybe put in our back pocket for 2022, guys.
All right, let's do this. So I've talked on the show live a couple times for a play that we've really liked, and that was going to be SoFi. But today SoFi is gone. We talked about SoFi at 14.50. Today you're up to 16 and change. So that name's going to continue to work. We'll see if that is one to play for in 2022. I believe it is. I think you have a lot ahead of it with the Super Bowl, with some good media attention there. Super Bowl happening at SoFi Stadium, of course, in LA. But my pick is going to be Disney, guys. Look, I sold some off their last earnings report up here at 170. It's about time to buy back in. We're just now going to crack through the 50-period moving average. If you didn't, I was buying a little bit down here, but we're going to start recommending stocks from these current prices, right? So I can't just say, oh, if you're long at 144, great long. Let's talk about right now. Let's talk about being real and actually buying some stock for the future. So Disney right now. Let's talk about why we like this stock. Okay, 120 million subs right now on Disney Plus. That is dwarfed, obviously. 250 million subs on Netflix leads me to believe that there is obviously demand for streaming services. So Disney just got involved in the streaming game, right? They had it at the right time, at the right price, free for a lot of people, and now they're going to start to see some paying subs come through. Now the numbers have been hurt lately, which is why you get this dip down, right? The numbers were not there the last quarter. They came in on Disney. That, to me, just reflects poor content. And we've talked about the content a few times on this show. It hasn't been great. They had pandemic delays, right? You can't fly actresses everywhere. You can't get the cartoonists, the animators, everything. It's a tough world right now. So I like Disney moving forward. I think there's also, guys, pent-up demand, Robbie, for opportunities to travel. We've talked about that. Disney has over 12 parks worldwide, right? 12 international theme parks worldwide. They also have the cruise lines. You want to talk about CCL? Sure, CCL, One Trick Pony, RCL, same thing. Disney has cruise line capabilities, okay? So not capabilities, they're in that game. They have destinations. All of my friends, pretty much, ready to rock and roll. If you have young kids, they're ready to go back to Disney. So let's see. If we get through COVID, I like Disney here. Another reason there, right? We've just had Spider-Man go through. So it looks like some of the new content is starting to hit and starting to make some sense, starting to make some money for them. So Spider-Man coming out pretty hot. We do have new data coming through on their streaming service. They're talking about getting to 240 to 260 million subscribers by the end of 2024. That's going to be monstrous. That should drive this name back up there, okay? They're down. Before today, you're up 1%, but before today, they're down 12.6% year over year. Not a bad opportunity to pick up Disney here. Plus, to take a word from my friend Kevin O'Leary, they have cash flow. So their cash flow this year in this environment should work. You want to stick with the companies that bring in the cash, 62% year over year cash flow over last quarter. So I like Disney here. I really think that it makes a lot of sense. And if you don't believe me, the average price target on the street is 196. So look, analysts are wrong all the time, for sure. But the point is, there's some love for Disney here. Not only that, they cut their dividend to work on growth opportunities. If that comes back in, Disney spikes on that news as well. So let's wait to see new management, everything for Disney. I like it. Hey, and what if they spin off ESPN? Let's not even talk about unlocking some value. So for me, it's Disney. All aboard Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be TJX. I feel I've talked about this company before when it comes to just outright great. It looks like what could be a great holiday season for them because one, let's talk about the technicals, right? It's been, for most of 2021, it has been relatively sideways. It has been coiling up after taking out the 65 level. We've gone as high as 75. We're hitting near highs right now, but we've gone as high as 25, 75 for the year, or 76 and change for the year, and as low as 64, essentially that breakout spot. Here we are on the back end or on the top end looking to kind of peak out. Here's the other thing too. What's going on with all these shipping delays? You know, right now there's a huge issue with ships not being able to unload their cargo and whatnot. So if certain items can't make it into store by the holiday season or when they're supposed to for seasonal sales, where does it end up going? It ends up going to these type of retailers like the TJ Maxx's and their Winners, and in Canada the Winners and the Home Senses and the home goods stores. Those kind of stores that can just put it on the rack, no notice. They don't have a website. They just whatever you go in store, you find, right? And if people know that this type of stuff is going to be hitting the stores, you're going to see a lot of foot traffic. And I feel like based on the way the chart is looking up and based on the time of year, and with all these shipping delays, you're starting to notice with goods and goods not being able to make it on time to where they need to get to. I think TJX is definitely a chart that's setting up very nicely at the right time of year. And if it's going to take these highs out, the high for the year is 76.94, and we're sitting $1 below that. As we go into the end of the year and holiday season, sales are going to be coming out soon. So I think for my pick of the year for next year is going to be TJX.
All right, we'll wrap things up with a continuation, I guess, of a conversation that we were having on this very show this morning. If you joined us with Rahim Alani, and I'm going to go back, guys, to the lithium space. All we've been talking about in the past couple of weeks here is the demand for EVs, new EVs, more EVs coming. Everyone walks around with multiple, not just one, but multiple devices that have batteries in them now. So I'm going to go back to the lithium space here and pull out LAC. I mean, I think you're pretty safe with anything in this entire group. There's LTHM was another one that looked pretty interesting on the chart. But LAC, Lithium Americas, which is kind of funny because it's a Canadian company headquartered in Vancouver. In fact, really like this chart. 2 years in a row, this thing has had pretty impressive moves. $28 actually right now looks pretty good. For LAC. So I'll wrap it up with a bit of a battery play, maybe. Lithium America, guys. Few stocks there to look at in 2022. Let's have a look at a few of those right now, guys, because as I said, the time of year when, you know, we're not only looking back, but we're kind of looking forward, as in, I mean, Arun, you were just talking about, you know, TJX. The retail space has been pretty impressive the past couple of days. Continues to be this week. We talked about that Kroger headline this morning, KR having a nice day today on a couple billion worth in a buyback.
Yeah, and that's the space. It's the time of year when everyone's looking at, like holiday sales are going to be absolutely nuts, all right? And apart from all the other news attached to it, everyone's also looking at potential holiday sales. And that's kind of the reason I lean toward the TJX as my trade for the year for next year anyways, is not just the holiday sales, but also you have to factor in globally how things are being dealt with pandemic and restrictions being placed on not just people, but also on cargo and how they're being transported. Obviously, people affect the way cargo is being unloaded as well. But it's just globally, the situation is a little bit complicated, especially when you have ships not being able to dock and unload their cargo, right? That's where I'm kind of going with this, especially with the retail side of things. Now, retail sales are going to be great. Everyone's going to be doing online shopping. Delivery companies are going to be doing great in terms of sales figures. And I think Macy's, Kroger, you're starting to notice that these companies are going to be, you know, they have a ton of cash on hand now. They're going to be looking forward to make some moves. And Kroger came out and did their thing today. But I think overall, Sean likes to talk about Macy's a lot. I'm going to talk about the TJX. And you have these other names. Ross Stores is out there as well. You have Nordstrom as well there. So a lot of the retail space is open for, I guess, at this point in time, at least, investment. They've been beaten down for a bit now. And I think it's time to take a look at these names once again, especially as people kind of get back into the shopping mood, especially into not just online. I think online's been always been there for the year, but I think physical store shopping is something to look forward to.
Oh, AMC broke 30. We had 27 on our radar today to take that long. But one other name there, because we talked about retail, that I was actually close to choosing for the pick, but I just didn't think it was sort of, you know, traded enough by everybody. But what about Williams-Sonoma? I mean, a high quality name that I thought had a good report that's just been getting killed. It's actually below its 200 period. Look at Williams-Sonoma work, man. Can you believe this thing went down to $30 back in March and ripped just to 230 for its all-time high rate there. Williams-Sonoma pulling back from 230 on what I thought was a good report all the way back down to 170. So that's like 30% off here or more in about 2 months or less than that, about a month and a half here on Williams-Sonoma, right into this teeth of 150. So I think this is a name that will continue to work as well. So I do like WSM. And then the reason why, I mean, we're done talking about them now, but we'll talk about SoFi. I mean, SoFi has been ripping people's faces off all day, and we're going to go, yes, sir, for that one, because we've been liking SoFi for a long time. And so I basically have 2 picks this year, but I gave you SoFi last week at 14, you know, and not at 14, let's call it 14.50, something like that. The reason why we like SoFi, and who cares about the price today, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested when the price gets up here to 22, 23. So whether or not you buy SoFi today at $16 and then average in, if it comes back down, it doesn't matter to me. My average price is around 17, so I'm still stuck on SoFi, but I've liked this name for a very, very long time. I started to buy it when it was dipping down, and then we got more down here, which is why our price is 17. We did not get anything out on the high side. Next time it goes up here, you darn right, I'm going to be sitting there and taking some out next time we get up here, and I believe it gets there in the next 6 months for sure on SoFi. So let's see if it goes back up there. I like it off of this base, and honestly, I talk too much about Palantir, and you guys already know that, but Palantir is a name that, you know, there's a lot of haters on this name, and I mean, Trader Pratt talks all the time about, you know, he likes PayPal and stuff like that because Elon Musk. But there's also another guy. His name is Peter Thiel. And this is who's behind Palantir, who brought this to business, brought this to market, brought this company. This is a 19-year-old company, Palantir. So let's wait to see what happens now. Back up to the upside. I like data. I like all that stuff. We're going to see if this can work. We know the contracts that Palantir has. It's just a couple upgrades, a couple meme craziness days, and Palantir easily, guys, easily gets back up. I mean, although I don't like these aren't death crosses, but on my charts they are. I don't like when the 50 period crosses to 200. This is so in the penalty box right now. I don't think you can go wrong buying Palantir, closing your eyes, opening them up a year from now. I think you'll be happy with that trade, but hey, that is Palantir. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is not to say anything about everyone that said that I was dead to short NEO. And you know, maybe I'm right, or maybe you're right, sorry. But can't we both be right? I got punished there for taking it against that 33. We talk about that all the time here, and I just got filled there at 74, by the way. We talk about that all the time, waiting and then getting that top tick there and understanding that you just made the top. And that sucks, okay? But we did that. Gave back, what, 5 cents there? We got out at 02. Gave back 5 cents there, got out at 95. So gave up 7 cents to push the short now on double or triple. I think it was double the shares there. We're almost out. No, now we're not almost out. We have 40% left. But, you know, and then we just took it all out here. So as of right now, we are flat on NEO. So now we can let the rest of this run. We still have the shares, but our net is flat on NEO now. So we averaged into all this. We took that one out, got blown out right there for sure. But now we're back into the money now as it's ticking lower on NIO. So now we're in the money here on NEO. So we're going to try to let this thing trade down here, sort of where we thought it would trade in the first place. Like, I'm still thinking that we could easily break this 50 and come back to 32. So let's wait to see what happens here with NEO. But again, one more time, I learned my lesson. We get stop hunted here as day traders, and unfortunately, that's what we have to do, and we just have to believe in the trade and try to get right back in. That's one of the things that I do. I do it too often. I'd rather not get stopped out in the first place.
Let's talk about the cruise lines here, guys, because we had that headline that came across going back an hour or so. I just saw CCL popping back up on some volume here. We're right back at this kind of resistance area, 2075, after that huge breakdown. Took this thing from green to red. I had that story up and ready to go, but it has disappeared. Anyways, the CDC came out and said they're raising their alert level for cruise ships to the highest level. So basically saying probably shouldn't go on a cruise right now or anytime in the near future because of this COVID thing. So some volume, though, anyways, coming back into CCL right now.
Oh, I mean, CCL fell off, but I mean, it's not even surprising. Yes, it fell off from 865 to 860, but look at where we were sitting. I mean, like, the odds of it falling down were fairly high on anything, really. We were sitting right here. Well, that's the wrong chart. Hold on, wait a minute. CCL? No, that's Teva. Why do I have the wrong chart here? It's not there. Yeah. There we go. It's 2150, not 865. It's 21 and change. Same chart, different price here. It was right around here, 2150 and change. I have 23 marked off. There's a nice little resistance here. And then here we are coming back down to the downside towards 20.5. We're kind of boxed in here. This is the multi-day high and low situation where there's a ton of resistance above. There's a decent amount of support below. Any move to the upside, you look for the fade. Any move to the downside, you look for the long. And here we are. We went as high as what, 2150, 2165, and then here we are falling down back into support, and then now bouncing back up. None of this is surprising. Yes, I guess you have a catalyst to move it down much quicker than it would need it to go or would have gone on its own. But I think it was bound to happen at some pace. It just got accelerated based on the way the news came out.
Just quickly here before we go over to Miss V. All I pushed here, okay.
Sean broke it again,
So
guys.
I pushed the water jumping one, the one of me jumping into the water there. I think that started that. So just to let you know that, Rob. Okay, so we went live. We came back on Market Movers. We went live. Error. Yeah, so we went live. I hit the wrong one, so I'll hit this one. Hopefully this works. Nope. Oh, none of them work now. Okay, we'll fix that. I was hitting the fail one. Okay, so... all right, so I'll let Rob deal with this. But anyways, just to talk about, now we're all flustered, just to talk about CCL. When that news came out, it did drop down here. I came live on the Market Movers show with Trader Prad and basically said that the CDC over this whole time period has really, in my opinion anyways, been off base with some of their recommendations. They flip-flop, they come through, they drop bombs like this, and I was like, you know what, I bet you they either walk this back in the next couple days, or Fauci or somebody, I mean, Fauci's another guy, comes out and says something, and maybe walks this back. So as you can see, CCL one more time bounces off there. I'm just sad that I don't have a bid, because that was about the easiest long, honestly, Arun, the easiest long you're going to see all day. And the reason why is if you go over to the 20-period moving average, the 20-minute chart here, and you're going to see this. Look at this. I mean, look at these bottoms over the last 4 or 5 days. 2030, 2030, today, 2030. Like, it's right here. And even if you dip down in here, it bounces. We actually had this trade this day. It bounced off of 20 flat there. So, like, the risk that you have as part of this CCL trade is like almost nothing. And then you're able to buy down here and take it back up to the upside. Miss V, what up?
Hey guys, I want to remind everyone that New Year is tomorrow, and not only that, we'll be having Q&A session from 2:30 until 3:30. So guys, get your questions ready, because tomorrow Brandon, Neil, Sean, me and Prad also will be there. We'll be answering all of your questions. And while we're here, let's do like count. Guys, you can bring it back to me. Thank you, Randy. Guys, we have 2,600 people watching and not even 400 likes yet. I know you're busy, so here I am to remind you, please smash the like button, support the community. It would be super great if we can get at least 1,000 until the end of this show. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I think we deserve about 1,000. We did some pretty good. You got your stock picks in there. We had Ice Cube beside me to begin the show. I mean, it was such a great. Shout out to Randy. Good advice. Or even Randy with the Ford and the Tesla picks in that space. And then Brendan gave everybody LAC on the lithium side of things. You handled the retail, and we went over to cruise lines and travel and everything else, with Disney, I think, encompassing a lot of different opportunities there. And then tomorrow, you know what? Why don't tomorrow? Well, you're not here tomorrow, but we'll get Neil's pick. So we'll ask him right away tomorrow morning for his pick of the year. All of us gave ours. And then I'm going to ask Valeria, but I don't think she's really looking at investing right now. She's worried about trading her Tesla. And I mean, let's go over it. So first of all, just to update Neo, we took out one more piece. I was like, it went up there to 85. We took it out. No more bids now. So the next bid we have is going to be much lower than this. So let's see now if Neo can fall. If we still take out the top, we take out the top. We've made back a decent amount of money. Still red on the day for Neo. So those of you that were like, don't short, still going to win the day on this one, because we are red on this name. But wow, cashed out a lot, man. We're holding 30% now of this trade. There's probably 7 outs in here. So trying to keep them all pretty uniform as we go here. All right, so I'm waiting in line right now to get Top Shots. So right here, I am number 10,000 in line for NBA Top Shot. There's another pack drop today. And speak about NFTs, there was some NFT names today, and someone tweeted at me, that they got in and out of IMNT off of that BS run up here that happened. And I was like, great trade, man. Come on, charts. And it was basically right into here. Somehow, and I forget your name, my man. I apologize, but I'll find you on Twitter again. 740 or so he was short up there, which is an unbelievable. And I believe it halt. Did it halt in there, which is why you maybe got that? I don't think so. There's the halt there. Looks like only one halt today, and then straight back down to the downside, right where we were before. So I don't know if there's any more news on IMTE, but that was a name today that was a huge runner, man. And then all the way back down, IMNT there. So IMTE, sorry. And then again, what are we doing on Realize? Someone said. Honestly, I'm just relying on this to get me filled down in here somewhere. My bid is at 672. So in here, basically at this bottom, I don't know if I should be bidding that low. Maybe we'll try bid like an 80 bid. Maybe we get filled, and I'm just waiting for it to pop back up, man. My offer is through VWAP, waiting for a late day push. If we get it, great. But honestly, I'm not sure it's going to happen. This is we've already taken in 7, out 7.25, so that's 25 cents. We're out of the money now, 19 cents. So today on Realize is going to be basically a fail, I guess. Just no movement there on the side for Realize. So we'll wait. We thought with volume being dry today that we might get a bump up on this name. Doesn't look like it's happening. 25 cents now in the money on the Neo short. And an update on AMD before I throw it back over to you, Arun. I'm going to get out. We take out 147. We're going to get out of this one. AMD's been a great trade for me. I'm in the money now at $1.76 on this trade. 85 cents in the money on Palantir as well. So far, so good.
Yeah, and I've got AMD as well. We still got that trade from this morning. We kind of set the markers and we just let the trade go, right? We said 146 was the level that we're going to take a short below if it kind of acted a certain way. It did. As I got short, it ripped right against me. So I've been essentially out of the money since 9:50 in the morning. And the stop on this trade was 149, and that held. And now here we are back into the bottom end of the range. I'm not going to dump it yet just because it came back closer with a smaller loss. Now, I mean, the read is still valid. The trade is still valid. So I'm going to take this as far as I can. And then if I run out of time, we'll walk away from this trade. But AMD is still in play for that break through the low. So we'll let that one go. And then SoFi, I think, is the other big runner that I've got here. I picked it up as it took out 1550 on the way back to 1550. I took the long, and here it goes. Still going strong at 1620. I've cashed some out.
Oh, you took that?
Yeah, I took that. So I
didn't even notice.
That's a nice little 64-cent winner on the first half, and we'll manage the rest out as we go to Brendan.
All right, guys, we'll discuss a few things of note on the day. You can see our good friend Justin Kozach back with us, just keeping my eye on some of the cruise lines. Justin, first off, how is your kitchen? Because you had a little bit of a plumbing problem today.
Yeah, the I think it was 2 nights ago, the pipe from our sink burst. And fortunately, everything under the sink managed to catch all the water. So we've got that fixed. The plumber was in today and welding and smashing away at a bunch of stuff. And now everything seems to be fine and hopefully no water leaks. So it was weird little thing that happened. We found it in there in the course of the repair that the previous plumber had actually put the pipe on wrong, which is why we ended up in the watery situation that we did. Could have turned into a Kevin Costner movie in here. So
well, good to hear that you're not floating away.
Definitely.
That's always a good thing. Let's talk about Tesla here because we mentioned it this morning, obviously, right off the bat. This is not a small recall, and it's not the first time that they've had issues in this area of the car. So you've been doing a little more digging on this Tesla recall today.
Right. So, yep, Tesla recalling almost 500,000 vehicles, 479,318 to be exact, nearly all the vehicles that they shipped last year for what seems to be an issue with the rear. Well, a couple of issues. One of them is the rear, the cable in the trunk that powers the rear view camera. Seems like with opening and closing the trunk, this could cause the wire to fray and break off of the camera itself, which I'm sure you can figure out is probably going to be it's a bit of an inconvenience for Tesla drivers. The other issue too is that there seems to be an issue with the front boot, as the British would call it, or the front trunk, whatever you want to call it, the hood, the bonnet. I don't know what they call it these days. There seems to be a problem with the latch. So if you're driving and the latch somehow comes loose, this could result in the front hood coming up and obstructing the driver's view, which could be a little bit more disastrous than losing their rear view camera. So fortunately, Tesla's saying that no injuries, crashes, or deaths have occurred because of this. So hopefully that stays the same, but not a nice way to end the year, but at least Elon sold all of his stock. So that's good.
I do recall there was actually an incident, I think probably middle of the year last year, spring or summer, where there was actually a collision, I think, where the front hood popped up and blocked the windscreen. I think it was in LA, if I remember correctly, but correct me if I'm wrong, audience. Great stuff. I mean, it's not great, but good to learn a little bit more. As we said, definitely not a small recall, not the first one for Tesla of this nature. I mean, anything further as far as what to expect from them on this? Are they going to maybe obviously flip the bill when they get these repaired?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the reality is that this is just an annoying. Well, it's more annoying than anything, or more than just annoying. I mean, certainly this could be pretty dangerous, especially if the front hood comes up. But I'm assuming that Tesla's obviously going to cover the cost in this. But to cover the cost on the recall and repair for 500,000 vehicles is going to be pretty significant. So maybe Elon will cover the cost himself. He's a wealthy man, or so I hear. So,
he just picked up a whole bunch more shares at $6 the other day. So good for your Elon. Yeah, we'll continue to watch this obviously and see, maybe there'll be a special line in their quarterly report on this recall. At Trader TV Justin on Twitter, hit him up, let him know what you want to know more about. Thank you so much, sir. We'll check back in again tomorrow.
Yes, we will. All right, have a great one.
You too. There we go, guys. A little more on that Tesla recall today.
All right, thank you. And great to hear that Justin got his plumbing all fixed up there. That's the worst when that happens. I've had a couple situations there myself where the edge of when it got super cold out, and again, it was contractors. Probably the same thing that happened to him there, where they put a pipe running from my top floor into my main floor, and they put it basically on the outside of the insulation.
Oh, so it froze.
So here we are upstairs, no water, able to go back up. Yeah. And then what I had to do, I did this myself with my father, part of Italian, you got to fix everything yourself, or at least try to, and then call in a professional, right? That's what we do. Anyway, so we came in, we tore apart. I don't know how my father, and shout out to you, Dad, and I'm not sure how he was able to sort of figure this out, but it was like, this must be the problem, because we sort of did everything else, and we tore the part apart, we tore the wall apart, ripped out all the drywall, everything, the insulation, and sure enough, there was the pipe on the outside, and then we sort of had to rejig everything. It was quite the opportunity, but hey, learned how to drywall and things like that, and that was a couple of years ago. So shout out to everybody out there fixing yourself, but sometimes definitely great to have the professionals on there. So thank you to Justin, but okay, so, and a shout out to you guys on the chat there saying like, hey, you may want to get out of some of your NIO. So I got out of more there at 75 on the downside. Now we just hold 20% of this trade left, and we're going to see where it goes now. If it takes out this 33, then we're gone. It looks like it's going to try to do that. But thank you very much for some advice. We made a little bit of money back on that one. You were not in Tesla today, right?
No.
Okay, so I can review a little bit there as we just did the story. So Tesla, I actually feel am pretty lucky to get out of the way today of Tesla. So we were really thinking negatively on that story. Some of these other car companies, these EV companies, can't even get like 20 cars on the road. Tesla's recalling 500,000 cars. So, I mean, right there, that should just show you the sort of power Tesla is right now in this marketplace with just, owning the whole place right now. So Tesla's going to continue to go to the upside as long as EV names are popular, right? And as long as you don't have Elon Musk selling some of their shares, some of his shares. But with that being said, we came in today definitely liking the short on Tesla. And it was because we were looking at this 1060 area. We thought if it broke that, then we had a lot of downside movement, right? We could have made all the way back. I mean, I didn't think we were crashing to 1,000 today, but this there was no stopping this move from 1,000 up to 1,060. So when we broke that 1,060, I was expecting a flush down to at least 50 and then maybe even lower. But NASDAQ today says hold my beer. And they didn't want to go down, but we did sort of follow our rules there. There's the 1060 break, and we got a great fill on that, 1059.80, and then we got out down here at 56. So that was good. It actually flushes all the way down to 53 there, but you got to be too fast. That was in the one moment. So it comes back down, and we basically have virtually the low of the day. So we're like, okay, well, we still like the short. So Tesla's bouncing back up. We take it against VWAP there. Then we get out. So that right there, in, out, give back this trade. So now we're about flat on the day. Then it was like short and out again. So that's short 1075, defending the 75, out on the 80 break. That's a $5 hit. And then right there, we said enough is enough. It bounces back up. We take one last short against this high right here in the pre-market, this 1085. Lucky enough, does not get taken out, drops back down into 76, and we're able to make that $4 back. So I think net, we'll have to see what it shows on there, but we're down about $4 or $5 on Tesla in total. And I said that we're lucky because look what happens. As soon as we get out, it basically blows to the upside here, and Tesla right now is starting to come back in, but one more time bouncing off VWAP. So Tesla, a very dangerous trade today. Day's high 109, 195, 1,095.55. So almost back to that 1,100 marker.
Yeah, and the future is doing absolutely nothing. As we get closer to the end of the year, I would hope that we get some more action. Tomorrow is the real day where we're going to be determining whether we can actually take this 4,800 and stay above it, or we're going to kind of fail off or fall off or fail. It's going to be one of the decision-making days that we're going to be getting into tomorrow. But for today, though, top end of the range, seems like there's enough sell-side action. Every time we got close to 4,800, here we are falling off. We tried it early in the morning, came off about 10 points or so, tried it again not too long after. It was maybe about half an hour, no, 45 minutes after that. We tried again to take 4,800, went out to like 99.75, right? And then it kind of fell off again into these high 80s. And here we are. Every time we bounce, we can't seem to get past like 95. So it seems like more and more selling is coming on the board here at the top end of this range here. So keep an eye out on this 4,800, but respect the fact that selling is coming in as we get near the end of the day. So it does look like the NASDAQ and the S&P sitting barely positive, maybe closer to even at the pace it's going. It could be closer to zero than either closing strong. Now, from what I understand, the Santa Claus rally averages just north of 1% over the course of 7 trading days. 1 point what?
1.4.
1.4% over over 7 trading days. Now, I don't know. I don't think yesterday was that strong. Today is not going to be strong. So we've had one day where we've had some decent volume and some decent movement. So for this to be classified as a successful rally, we're going to need about 3 more days of strong movement just to get the average up and allow it to be classified as a successful Santa Claus rally.
Right.
Based on what Neil said last week, he said if the years that we don't have a Santa Claus rally, January tends to be a negative month. So that's not a good sign.
The Santa Claus rally, in my opinion, has already happened unless we fade back. We're already well north of 1.4%. Yesterday was the 70th record close for the S&P 500. So yesterday was, again, another positive day. So 70th record close there for the S&P. So, I mean, we'll go back. It's supposed to be the 5 days preceding the new year. So that would be all this week. Yep. So we could just basically do the math. Maybe Ms. V, or I can try to do it on a spreadsheet, or Brendan. What are we up this week so far? And then we got to figure out the 2 days after. But again, the 1.4% is an average over like 50 years. It was over 45 years. So it was, the Santa Claus rally has come 35 of 45 years, something like that. We've tweeted this out anyway. So that's what that is. So we can figure out what's going on there. But already a very, very nice play here for that. So, okay. Neil, wow, what monster volume today on that name. As the market comes back in, first of all, let's just go, yes, sir, as we'll go fall down timber for AMD. And I hate it. I own AMD. We can definitely absorb 1.3%. But today, it is definitely one of these kind of things where pigs get slaughtered, because honestly, man, someone said yesterday, pigs get fatter, hogs get slaughtered. Was that the right way? I think that was, I forget who said
Yeah,
that.
that was the
That was the call there. But right now, either way today, we're really happy that the Wiz is in the building because finally AMD cashing in. We are now well in the money on this trade. AMD, a highly positive trade for me today, but this is not, I mean, I've sort of channeled my inner Arun here, and I've talked about that over and over, and I think I've learned a lot having Arun here the last 10 days or whatever it's been. Neil back tomorrow. But it's like normally I would have scalped this out, and I would have probably tapped out of this a lot earlier, but we averaged in, this is not you, Arun, 4 averages in is me, but we definitely gave it to that 149, and then now holding it all the way back down. Really proud of that hold, but I'm going to get out. We always play around the quarters, so if this comes all the way back, we were going to get out at 147, but now with this move back, we'll do a little trailing stop right back at this level right here, coinciding with some of these levels, but really, it's just a 146.75 break, so we break above that, we're out. So right now, $2 in the money on AMD, a dime on NEO, 85 cents on Palantir, and Relly putting me to sleep. We need some catch up for that relish. What's up, Brendo?
You were talking about NFTs there briefly. I just saw this one, guys. A few people mentioned this as well. Hall of Fame, HOFV, big monster volume spike there. Took this thing up to day highs. I was actually surprised to see this all the way back down here. 150 at the start of the day for Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment.
Is it HHOF? HOFE, okay. Let's have a quick look at that one because I believe, no, not HOFE, what is it?
HOFV, V.
Oh, V.
Victor.
Oh man, I put an E there. Whoops, wrong thing here. Let's check it out. I thought they had a deal at some point there with Topps, the card maker there. So yeah, if you're into NFTs, and again, we had Kevin O'Leary on the other day, and he was talking about different asset classes, including watches and getting into crypto, and obviously he has a lot of invested money in the crypto space. So take what he says. I mean, he's very super knowledgeable in the space now. So, but remember, everyone, when you've got money invested in it, you tend to think one way. I have a few NFTs, but if you did like the space, I think we got to do a little bit more work, and I want to find the right names because look at this move, man, all the way back down to $1.50. Like it's one thing to say I want to get into the space, but you got to pick the right names, and this one has not worked at all. I'm sure there's been a lot of people making money, but did this IPO down, or maybe this was a SPAC? Maybe at one point, like I just remember this name. But anyways, 780, if it was a SPAC, it started at 10. So, but anyways, 780 down there, all the way down to $1 right now. So HOVF just getting like shellacked here, but it's nice to see up 9%. Now I want to take with a grain of salt today all of these moves, okay? Because look, I'm really happy for them, but I'm going to show you here. This is a list of stocks. Wow, okay, that's just a cannabis name up 28%, whatever, holding the bag on all cannabis. But look at some of these names that are leading the way today, right? I don't know if you guys, you might not be able to see this. Is this as zoomed in as it can go, probably? So it's my bad. I'll try to, I don't know how to show this a little bit better, but anyways, it's NEO. Look at XL Fleet today up 10%, SoFi up 12%, BABA up more today as well. Maybe if I got a black background in on this might be better. Hold on a second. Let's just call up this crypto space here and then have a look. Is that maybe make it better? Probably not. But anyways, Beyond Meat. What I'm trying to get at here is just a lot of these names. Teladoc up 6% today. Marijuana names, Clover up, BarkBox, like all these Roku, Fisker, like a lot of these names that have really been down like 70, 80. Yeah, thanks guys. That looks really good. PaySafe even was up a lot higher than this today, but there's a lot of names. All right, that's good. We'll take it off now. Thanks, guys. But yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Thanks, Rob, for that. A lot of names today. Yeah, and we'll talk about crypto in a minute. There's a lot of these, and I'm not going to say garbage names because I'm in them, and I know a lot of you guys are too, but they're high valuation names with no earnings that today they're all getting the bump up. So I think we got to take a lot of these movements here today with a grain of salt, especially in a lot of these names. And like SoFi is another one that's just getting bumped up today, right? It's already pulling back in. You could see that, the high was 6. I know you're in the name, Arun, so maybe if you have an out, we could talk about it. But, they're starting to pull back in. I am a little bit nervous about a lot of these high flyers. And there goes, by the way, there goes NEO to the downside. Palantir is just one of those. And I'm in this name. My last buy on my own account, forget about this today, was was 1810. We've talked about that. That was my last purchase. I'm not even close to getting out of any of them. I think these all moon more, but take today's gain in a lot of these names with a grain of salt. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We want to be long these things early tomorrow so that we don't have to worry about, like right now, what to do with them. So tomorrow on my radar, all of the high flyers today. We're going to punch the longs tomorrow morning and see if it continues. There goes NEO right to the downside. We're starting to take off now. We are now very positive on this trade here today. So coming back in, we'll look to see if 3250 has any sort of resistance to it or support. But right now, here comes NEO right back in. So the short looking pretty good right now. Let's get it over to Miss V. Big V.
What a disappointment. LGVN, guys, another one just popping up here on volume this afternoon. Just made a day high. A few people mentioning this. Yeah, exactly. Came into 13 there and held for Longeveron again.
Is like when Randy's doing it, like sometimes he's like throw to Brampton, throw to like I don't know who else. What's your other thing? Brenda. Yeah, Brenda. This and that. Like what is even going? Martha. Like where did Martha come from? Was that Martha Stewart reference? Martha Stewart a year and a half ago. So there you go. Anyways, okay. So we are right here on NEO, and then it's like throw to B. Well, does B sound like V?
Yeah.
You know. Okay. Anyways, who cares? But here we go. It's just fun to talk about that. But now we come to the downside. We just bounced off. I might just cancel this order at 51. And why not just put one here well, here it comes. Maybe we'll get it. Let's just wait a second more here. See if we get a 51 print here. If you guys can hit the likes. Can you get a dada? I mean, you can get numerous dadas for that one right here. So first of all, you ready for this? Thank you so much, Jagerbomb, on that super chat. You want a dada? You're going to get a dada right now.
Dada.
There's your dada. Who's your dada? Oh, didn't come up again. Where? Get up again. Where is it? It's not coming again.
Dada.
There you go. So Brendan, that was made because of the stock dada that one day when he talked about it. I think Rob thought it was pretty funny. So we put that on the board. Did we not get filled there? Oh my God, this went to 52 and we didn't get the 51 print. That's unbelievable. Let's take a piece out of Neil here before it rips back up.
Yep, and hey, so I've got to manage the two positions I've got. I'm not going to enter anymore, but I can protect what I've got, right? So SoFi going strong, and this ties into what Nick was asking me as well. Is this a great longer-term trade? Well, for what I'm going to do for today, I'm going to put the stop at 16, and if we break 16, I'm done. But if we were to kind of stick in this trade, and if we were to go for a swing trade, let me pull up the daily here. If we were to go for a swing here, I think it's at a great location for a nice long here. Look at this nice little bounce off that 14, which we've tapped like 3 or 4 times going back to earlier this year. And here we are bouncing one more time, taking out the top end of that 1550. Now that's the reason I got into the long. I'm not going to have the time to be able to stick with this trade for the multi-day move. But I think in terms of risk reward and location, you've got to take the shot and see if you can't get it back towards that 22, 23. I mean, this is the right play. If you're going for the range, even if you're just range trading this, you take the shot here and you can at least look forward to $6-7 here to the upside. So I would say that, yes, this is a nice location for the long. I would stick with it if you've got the right prices. And it's just one of those trades where it is looking like it wants to make a move back towards the top end of the range. So why not hold on to it as long as your risk is under control? And thing is, though, even if you caught 1550 or even if you got better prices, right? I mean, the stop is like 14 or 13 bucks would be your stop. You're not putting up a lot. If you caught it at 15, you're putting up about $2, maybe $2.50 at 1550. And here you are at 16 already and looking for a nice little move. So upside, risk reward, all solid to the upside. So here we are just protecting on the intraday basis, though. I'm going to protect it south of 16 on SoFi. And then AMD, what I've done is as we're running out of time, I'm actually moving the stop down now. So in the event it pops at some point later in the day, I'm not going to have enough time for this to come all the way back down. So protect the loss at this point. So we're going to essentially limiting the loss from what was initially a $3 stop to now it's going to be about $1 or so. So I'm putting the stop just north of 147. So in the event that this were to pop back up, well, I'm not going to have enough time to let it work. So, hey, we'll just walk away with the $1 hit. No point holding on at that point. Because the way it's setting up, it's got to go. It's got to go now or it's a problem. And I'd rather not deal with that with no time left.
I have to log into my Dapper account here to get this NFT. But right now, hide your eyes right now because we are going to show you this. Ooh.
That's why you wanted to hide your eyes? Ugh.
Yeah, hide.
Woof, 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 woof.
Oh, get that stuff out of my face. Money coming out that man's rear. The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, good call there by whoever that was on the chat right now. But Hold on a second. There it is. Okay, Neo just coming to the downside right now, so we're going to hit another one for Brendan.
Yay, 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 yay.
There we go. We have that one to the GOAT. Smile again. Okay, so there goes Neo to the downside. We're going to cash in on that one. Hopefully, we'll see where we go. Yeah, what's up with that, Rob? Anyways, a lot of stuff coming out of the back end there of Brendan. Now, what's up with that? There we go. So the money just keeps on flying through here as we continue to have some good times. Tomorrow, get ready at about 3 and change. We'll pop some of, I got the VOV, so we'll pop that tomorrow. Some high quality champagne coming through. Just an alert, we are almost out of Palantir. This breaks, I mean, we should have, I was waiting at 95, like really silly not to take that out when it came to 90 there. Now we're gonna cost ourselves, unfortunately, 15 cents on the downside as Palantir looking to break. I'm not even gonna give it VWAP, it's just last time we resisted this when we were doing the trade of the day. We're still long Palantir, and we're gonna get long tomorrow as well. I wanna be long these names tomorrow off the open. I just think a repeat of today maybe comes through, getting ready to close out the year. So that's coming through here. But there goes Neo right now. Now it's really starting to get to the downside, starting to fall back down. People said bye-bye, Baba. I mean, look, this Chinese story wasn't going to be here all day. I mean, it's a big move up. Like Baba up 10% today, guys. An unbelievable move back up. Maybe it's time to cash out. I have a small holding still in Alibaba, but we're long like it was like 208 or something. So we're getting absolutely killed on our Alibaba trade, waiting for a little bit of a bump up. But Baba's coming off of 124.50, down about $1 and change here. Neo doing the same, coming back in. So that trade gonna work for us on the short side. That was a good one for sure. Yeah, year-end drinks. You guys remember what happened when we did last time on the drink side. And someone tweeted at me, and Trader Prad put it in the chat as well. It was actually a really good one. I think it was Jam on it who did it. It was a good one. I'm not sure your name in the chat, Jam on it, because you're always here. But where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Here it is, right here. So this was actually pretty funny. Let me bring my Twitter over here. So this is, it's us singing. Oh, you can't see it. It's us, I think it's singing, I forget the song right now, but this is when we were drinking the eggnog, the rum and eggnog. So this is a funny one. We'll put this out here. We'll put it copy, and I'll put that in the chat. You guys can hear it. It's actually pretty fun. It's made with Face App. So if you can have the sound on this, Robbie, I don't know. It's actually pretty cool. I don't know how you could do that. I'll set it in the chat, and if you guys want to play that, I'll put it in the main chat there. I think it's... Okay, it's Bing Crosby, I believe. Let It Snow, maybe, as it goes. But don't quote me on that. Okay, here comes Neo right back into the downside. I have some bids in the 20s. This may be just good enough. You know, if we can get this down, we are now 60 cents in the money on NIO. We are a whopping, wow, let's go. AMD right now, fire off the sausage cannon, because AMD right now, taking it down to the downside. So we're going to do this for this one, man. This one's a big one. Bang, right there. So a big one coming through here for AMD. $2.50 now in the money. We're on one today as our trades definitely, like, look, I don't short often, but when I do, it seems like for now, starting to work out. So AMD right now on a nice move to the downside here. I hope some of you aren't caught on some of these Chinese names. It's a little bit of a nasty flush. Yeah, you can use...
Weather outside is frightful, but that fire is...
It keeps going, but that's good. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that was pretty good there. Bing bong, yep, that's right. So nice little bing bong winner here on AMD to the downside. Let's take out a piece here on Neo. I'm pretty happy with a 60-cent move to the downside here, Arun.
Yeah, well, finally, AMD in the money, 7 cents in the money, but hey, this ride took about almost 6 hours. So, well, just short of 6 hours to get going here. We were in early, and we were in at the wrong time, it looks like, and it finally turns in the money. So maybe it's going to go now. The low is 59, 145.59 is the low that we're looking at. See if we can actually get below that and accelerate to the downside. It looks like the futures are heading down. It looks like we're down at 85 now. Nice little downside move on the futures, and about 4 or 5 points or so in the last little bit here. So we are heading to the downside on the futures, taking some stocks with it. NASDAQ is now relatively flat, 0.01% to the upside, ES 0.03% to the upside. So next to nothing you're getting from, in terms of the market movement for the last couple of days, relatively flat. Actually 3 days now. I think it's going to be 3 days in a row where it's been flat if we stay at this pace right now. But here we are. Just manage. That's all we can do. Our trade that was out of the money is finally back in the money. SoFi is probably going to get stopped out once we cross below 16. So that's protecting our profit. We're going to walk away with like a 45-cent winner on the remaining portion of that position. And then AMD will let AMD go as far as it wants to go. As it's going, though, I'm moving my stop in the event that it were to snap back up. We're limiting the damage, right? At this point, it was all about damage control on AMD anyways. So in the fact that it's actually in the money is a great thing to have, but I wasn't expecting it to be back in the money. I thought we'd just get out maybe like $1 or 50-cent loser, but here we are. Nice to see it back below 146. Maybe the lows go. And with the futures accelerating, actually, no, I guess they're not accelerating. They're bouncing back off that 85. But if we can actually get below 85, 85 was a level I've actually marked off since the morning. I was like, if we get below there, we have a chance to maybe start taking some shorts on the futures, but we never did. Every time we got there, we just kind of bounced right back up. So I never ended up taking a short on the futures, but I think if we get below 85 on the futures, I think I might step in. As long as it's not too late, I might step in on the short side on the futures here. And I see in the chat, people are like, oh my God, Arun's smiling, Arun's smiling. Well, I mean, it's not like I don't smile. It's just that when I'm trading, and I'm focused, yeah, you're not going to see me smile. Right now, I've got two positions that can manage themselves. So I don't really need to pay too much attention or be too focused on my two positions. So I'm just waiting for the futures. Maybe they make a move and I'll take something there. But for now, I'm just kind of sitting back. You saw me at the production desk. Now you're seeing me at this desk. My positions are doing just fine.
He's focused, man. So yeah, no, that's great. I mean, we're all focused here today. It's been a good one. Yeah, that woof was funny. Let's do that again, Rob. People liking that woof one there for Brendan. And everyone loves Brendan. We also have a Brendan Poff one.
Woof.
Yeah, but I just don't like that because it's like aiming directly at my face there. Turn it the other way so when Neil comes here, then he can do that because he'll be like, this will be Neil like, come on, Brendan. Come on, Brendan.
Dada.
All right, let's go. Talk about Dada. Let's go over there. Chinese name, internet name. Let's see what it's doing right now as it comes highly recommended from Brendan. Down 1.8 million shares today. Let's just see what this is doing. Probably fading out as well. I mean, this is a name that we didn't even look at today. Wow. I mean, again, how do you predict that? Like, up 16 for 15% today. Dada. Like, what's going on with that one? I wish we would have took said advice.
Dada.
To trade this thing today because what a monster this has been. But then you look at this again and, is this really something to celebrate? This is what I'm talking about with Clover, with PaySafe, with the rest. As right now, we did take a piece out. So just an advice here. We did not advice, but we did take a piece out on NIO here at 38 or something like that. So a good little out on NIO. This could rally back. I mean, we're virtually out of this one now. Only 20% left of this position as we take another 5% out there. What's up, Brendo?
For anyone maybe questioning that graphic, here we go. It is a thing. There it is. Woof. See? Woof. It is. It's a thing. Woof, guys. It's, what is it again? Petco Health and Wellness Company. Woof.
Man, is this a slow market day or what? Okay, so yeah, woof. Yeah, Petco, I believe. Yeah, good one there. I like BarkBox, but that's been an absolute disaster. I don't know. I'm going to change that shirt behind me too. I'll put like a Miss V shirt up there when we get a chance. Okay, so Lucid was another name that we talked about early today. It was on the watch list and on the no, it wasn't. I don't know if it was on the watch list or not, but I think we had all EV names on the watch list. But we did have, of course, right here the #1 stock on our My Sticky Note today was Lucid, a buy rating at Citi, stating, and misspelled there, several positive catalysts coming into 2022. Buy it down to 36, take the 37 break long. So not only, I don't often take the 37 break long, but there it is right there today. So not only did I hope you take it, which I just got, thank you again for all the love on Twitter, like people telling me they got the trade and it's made their day and blah, blah, blah. So that's great, guys. But there it is, man. We're long as well. We take that 37 break, 37.05, we get the fill, and it's just like explosion to the upside. Unfortunately, we took it out for the dollar and it just kept on going, man, up to 39 and change. So wow, what a great move upside for Lucid, but we didn't hold on. Paper hands here on Lucid. Just what a great move. It happened so early that we were like, we're taking that profit as soon as we can get that. So that's our trade there on Lucid. And I hope you're able to make something like that out of your trades as well, because that was a good one for us there on LCID. And we got out of the way on Tesla. Fisker had a nice move up. I was actually looking at Fisker. I believe that's NYSE, right? Yes. Okay. So Fisker, again, a beautiful move back up. They all took off today. And again, another fade back in here. here. So maybe Fisker bouncing off 16 is something. For right now, I don't know. I don't really want to get into any positions unless something starts really ripping and running. We're still waiting on this Relay to do something. Doesn't seem like it wants to. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of sitting on my hands here, Arun.
Yeah, me too. I'm just managing whatever I've got, right? At this point, they can manage themselves too. So maybe futures, that's what I'm looking at. But I'm also looking at, like, again, these names that have been moving up strong, especially in the Chinese space, Babas, Baidu, they're all hitting resistance. They're all in locations where they could be shorts or fades fairly soon, as long as they don't do another move like this today, right? We're up almost 10% on Baba today. If there's another big move past 130 tomorrow, then I think that idea's gone out the door. But you've got to be aware that, hey, there's a ton of resistance up top. And as long as we don't take out that one key level, we should be fine on the short side. Now, that's Baba. At Baidu, it looks slightly differently. It's just coming off a bottom end of the range. I think the difference here is that the fact that we've been at this price point before versus Baba, it's been a while, right? So for us to be down here and kind of hit the bottom end of the range and find a buyer, it's not surprising. But again, the top end of this kind of confirmation would be up here around 164. So it is kind of moving back, but the fade on Baidu is not like Baba, versus Baba has been trending to the downside. Baidu has been somewhat, at the very least, sideways. A couple moves to the downside here and there, but then for the most part, sideways. As we move back up, I'd be less inclined to short Baidu or fade Baidu as long as we don't get strength. I think Baidu is probably not the candidate for that kind of a move. I'd lean towards Baba just because of the trend, right? It's just the way it's been moving. I think you got to take that shot as long as it sets up for you. As long as it sets up, and that's the key thing, right? You don't want to step in front of a freight train. If you get another strong move going into the end of the year on Baba, this could be an aggressive move going into next year. At the beginning of the year, there tends to be some buying. So not always, but tends to be some buying. So if you get a sharp move into Baba, let's just say tomorrow, and then the next week we get a sharp move again, you're taking out everything. Any resistance levels that we had to the upside, they're all gone. And at that point, Baba turns into a nice long, and anyone who picked up at a discount sub 120 is laughing. So here we are kind of just waiting on Baba to see how tomorrow shakes out, because that'll kind of dictate how the volume and the momentum is going to be on Baba going into the new year.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was thinking about, trying to get long on everything. Tomorrow, guys, I just went over to my Twitter here just to talk about this because I have the graphic right up. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve special time, guys. Live Q&A with the crew. So all five of us going to be here. Arun will be chilling out, but all five of us here going to come through, talk about this tomorrow right now. From 2:30 to 3:30, we're going to be taking your questions live. So what you're going to have to do is tweet us at TraderTV.live or use the hashtag here, and then we're going to find those online, drop them in our chat, and then go over them one by one. And hopefully there'll be too many questions that we'll have to pick and choose them. But we do plan on going over all of the questions that you guys send us here tomorrow. And then I also posted up what a great interview that I thought we had one of our best interviews with Kevin O'Leary yesterday. He and I talked a little bit about restaurants and crypto, and Brendan hit it with him as well. What a great opportunity that was. So check out all of our tweets that we put out every single day, and hopefully there'll be some good ideas there. Not only that, but some fun names as well. Okay, Relay. So we just got touched right there. We talked about, unbelievable that we got this, but whatever. Right into 72, we talked about sitting there. You could see the spread on this name. No surprise that we got some of this. I don't even know the price we got, but you can see some dark pool prints coming through here. So I think that's the best way to play this. You don't necessarily want to sit. If you have access to dark pools, you might not want to sit on a level 2. Sometimes when you put your orders in, it kind of runs away from you. So get ready to rock and roll here on RELI. And I don't know where to even get out on this one. We're in it. We'll see if we can get this to run up, but we're 12 cents out. We're long at 90s. So maybe back up here, I don't know. Anyways, we're just into Relay here. It's not moving. AMD trying to get back in. And then let's take a look at some of the crypto quick here. As crypto is starting to bounce back up a little bit here. A lot of the names that we like are starting to move again. So Ethereum, a lot of the names back to Greensville today as we go. I don't see anything that's like a standout here today, but right now a nice little move up. Cardano, nice over the week. Cardano outperforming pretty much all of them here. Polkadot's a nice one. Some people in that, some not. And I also really like Polygon. We've talked about that. So right now, Cardano on one. Sunday swap coming through on that one. hopefully that sparks a rally in Cardano. But it's been kind of, again, a pretty Deadsville day here, even in the crypto markets. Ethereum kind of just dancing around. This is a daily chart. Let's put this to a 1-minute chart. We don't have here the greatest opportunity to trade crypto. We're working on getting that better here for you guys at Day Trade the World. But you can see a nice move down to 3,700, and we're up about $60 from there. So crypto today kind of like, not doing a whole hell of a lot. What's up, B?
A little one popping up, IINN. This one, I guess, was last week. It had a bit of a move back up to 650. So volume just popping back in for IINN, guys.
Right, I was looking at the chat and Taylor mentioned something to me. I talked about Taylor Conway mentioning that Pfizer has taken out that 5850 level that I believe I was talking about here. That would confirm some buy strength here just north of this area here, kind of confirming that 57 location. Now, keep an eye on this. This is not ready to go today. It's too late for the entry anyways. But as long as we can stay strong here and we close strong, I think that's a critical thing too, especially with it being about 40 minutes away from the close. As long as we can stay strong and close north of that 50 area, preferably north of that, closer to that 59, then tomorrow a dip down into that area should be a nice little buying opportunity. So not ready to go yet. Well, not ready for today's trade, but could be ready to go tomorrow. So that's definitely one level that I'm going to keep an eye on for tomorrow, even though I won't be here. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on because this has been setting up for a few days now. Nice little kind of sideways consolidation move with a downward trend that kind of confirmed that 57 level twice by breaking that 5850. Definitely an area that I want to watch, and definitely a trade that couldn't be made as long as we can stay strong today. I think that's a critical thing because it just shot up from 20 into 67 or into 70. It looks like I thought it was 67, but it's about a 45-cent move or so from the back end here. So here we are moving strong. We moved strong right off the open. Went down a bit, took our time on the way back up, and as soon as we took the highs, we just accelerated. So Pfizer making some moves here, almost 2% to the upside as we get closer and closer to that 59. And I think for me, that 5850 is the breaker. So that's going to be the important one. I just noticed that on the side of my screen here, AMD, after bouncing off those lows, or very close to those lows anyways, off the 80 level, bounced all the way to 146.20, and now is back towards that 146 even level. So here we are, waiting on AMD. I think if AMD can bring a negative imbalance, I'm going to wait for the imbalance. So at this point, it's doing absolutely nothing. I want to see these imbalances on AMD before I get out. We'll let it go until 350, and then we'll make a decision on whether we're going to hold on to it or get out. Brendan?
There was a couple of things on the vaccine front, guys. You were talking about Pfizer there. Israel apparently approving a fourth already COVID-19 vaccine. So that kind of came in as that Pfizer move was happening. Also 5 to 11 in the U.S. For Pfizer as well. That was recently. But Israel, the first to go to 4, guys.
If Brendan can remind us about this OCGN news, because we did get a super chat, and we're going to give a shout out to you. Thank you so much, Dustin, for this. Solid news on OCGN. So we'll just remind ourselves again. We know Ocugen's been a big time mover when it starts to get going, and today you have 21 million shares. So a flag on the hourly, but volume dried up. I mean, yeah, we could call. I mean, I don't have an hourly chart up here, but you could see it's almost like right now. You can almost just draw the flag right here. Here's the pole. Here we go down like that. So you can. I mean, I could draw this for you if you guys don't know what that means. But here's the pole flag, boom, like that, and here's the pole. So I think that you can sort of. It's not. This is a 1-minute chart, but a nice move up. That 10% again. Brendan's going to come with the news, and again, remember, it's not. The vaccine is the same dose. It's not like it's vaccine number 4. It's just like dose number 4, right? But that seems to be, I don't know. I don't. This is not a show about whether or not you need to give a dose a year or whatever. We just kind of trade the news here, and I just kind of feel it's sad that like there's another dose coming and then another one after that. It's like, okay, let's just get through this, man. That's all that I care about. I mean, we're picking Disney for the year, and so we need to get through Omicron and through COVID to have that turn out to be a successful trade, right? So, quickly an update here, just in case you guys were wondering, where's the out on Relay? I'm just going to do it at 70. There was a bid here. I don't see any size on Relay here until 80, but we do have a protection on the bid at 70. So I just feel like if that 70 goes, someone's going to hit this 66, and then when that goes, then it's like floodgates open to the downside. So we'll hold on to Relay. We'll get out at the end of the day. Hopefully it pops up. Maybe we'll just stick an order up here for fun and see if we get it out on the upside. That would be a nice winner if we could do that. But if we can get out around 710, that's not bad. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, for anyone wondering on that, it was Ocugen. That is, it was they partnered up with Bharat Biotech, remember, for their COVID vaccine. So there was positive data on children between 2 and 18 that came out near the end of our show this morning. So I believe that's what they were referring to, guys.
Take a quick look at the Nasdaq futures, just because we're always looking at the S&P 500 or the E-minis, which is what I trade on the intraday basis, anyways. And here we are on the Nasdaq, and you know what? I guess it shouldn't be surprising. I mean, we bounced off that 400 area yesterday, 450 today. Makes sense. There's a decent amount of support going back on the multi-day into the. Let me pull up the Nasdaq chart for you guys. This is the consolidated chart from eSignal. Right here, we kind of took that out here. It was 16,450 yesterday. We kind of bounced underneath, took out 400 and bounced right back. Took a look at 450 again, bounced right back. We're stuck. We're stuck in this market. It needs to make a decision or wants to make a decision, but it's either waiting for end of year cash flow, or new year cash flow, right? At this point, there's going to be something to be done either tomorrow or the next week. Obviously, next week, in the beginning of the new year, it's going to be a different story, but it does look like there's decent amount of support that's holding well through the bottom, and then there's decent amount of activity holding resistance up top. This market's locked in, so like temper your expectations until we can break either end here. I think 16,280 would be the bottom end that would need to go for any sort of downside activity to accelerate. And then on the top end, you've got to look at the highs, which is going to be 16,800, right? That's going to be the top end level. We're going to creep. I think once we get past the high of 16,660, which should be right here. This is the high from the 28th here. So as long as we can get past that, we should get some more strength. But I think 16,800 would put in all-time highs. And at that point, you're going to see a real move, whether it's going to be a trap out or it's going to be an accelerated move to the upside. So just be aware that for now, the market's still waiting for some more cash flow. And it's stuck in an area which makes perfect sense that it's not going to go in either way, hard or fast. So anytime it goes down, it's probably going to catch buyers. Anytime it goes up, it's going to catch sellers. And here we are waiting for this market to do something. So for now, both markets, NASDAQ and ES, up 0.03%. So
monster.
Absolutely terrifically boring numbers.
Yeah, it hasn't been exciting, but if you trade the right names, I mean, I think both you and I have a couple losers, a couple big winners, and so on and so forth. So I think you got to tread lightly, definitely. I think that the only real advice that I would have in these markets, and I say it all the time, every day when we post it on the sticky note and early on, is just, tread a little bit lighter. Take your shares down a little bit in this day, right? You don't need to be here pumping through volume. We're going to wait to see what the imbalances show, and hopefully there'll be something positive. Man, like every day, like today seems to be dragging on a little bit, but like my voice definitely feels like it's getting near the end of the week here. Hopefully tomorrow at this time the champagne will be flowing through and they'll be all good at this point. Okay, so just a little bit more work on OCGN. Okay, so I looked at the daily chart here. It's been pretty bad, man. I mean, anybody that's invested in this knows what we're talking about. It gets a lot of bumps. This stock is very, very manipulated. Like, there's no way one day it should be 19, the next day it should be like all the way back down here, 11, 12 and change. Like, that just shouldn't be happening. But again, they do have the viral. They do have a lot of different, opportunities here in the space. But I think we're getting... And I said this yesterday, and again, maybe it's just positive talk, but I really hope we're getting through a lot of this. And I don't know if OCGN is going to get talked about enough after COVID. So this is a very, very dangerous spot right now for it. We've already ticked out here again. I don't like to hold this for a long term, so if that's your question, I wouldn't let it break whatever the low was today, because today you're getting a big bump up. So for me, I don't let OCGN break this $4 if I'm long this name. So that just seems to be a little dangerous. You may regret that, but I don't know, you can get out a half or something like that. Just watch out. Without knowing what positions you guys are in, it's kind of hard to give some advice, but OCGN, a very, very dangerous stock, especially with that movement. So you hold it for kind of like the Wall Street bets bump, or some crazy news where retail just comes in and buys this thing up. You can see big moves in the morning, and then now with no volume down here. So that takes me to my other idea here. What about DraftKings? DraftKings is a name that will work in the new year. It's been a good stock today. Another one of those names that we talked about, high valuation name, now back to the day's high. It's made a nice base here at 28.50. Like I said, any weakness tomorrow, if we open up lower than today, like as long as tomorrow these names aren't up, I mean, it'd be great if they're up another 3, 4, 5% tomorrow morning. But if they're not, these are the kind of names that I'm really looking at here to fade more. Like I want to fade some of these names until we start like to really get going here. I don't know what DraftKings is going to have in store for it. I'm very, very interested to see what the first week in January does for a lot of these names. But again, you know, no income, you know, no real cash flow coming through on these guys, spending way too much money to acquire customers, but it is a high valuation name. They can get going if they ever were to turn the ship around here, more states legalizing. But when I say stuff like this, it always reminds me of marijuana. And it's like, you know, these names have been, I was just looking at my account today, I'm down like thousands. I don't even want to say how much I'm down, but it's, you know, obviously it's in the thousands, if not more than that, on some of these marijuana names. We've cashed out at some of them for nice profits. I don't know, net, I might be fine, but like we're holding the bag on a lot of these names. And then today you get a name like Tilray bumping up. So, you know, we'll see what Tilray is going to do today. But it's still been absolutely destroyed over the last 6 months. Like, I mean, so what? You're up 4% today. That's great. I don't even, forget about that. Forget about that bump. But just look here. Look from June, man. Like $21, like down to $7. I have not bought any on the way here, right? But my Afria shares got turned into Tilray, and I don't even remember when that was, probably on one of these high volume days here. But what a disaster this has been, man. Tilray, these cannabis names, we had Raheem Alani on this morning. He didn't really have anything to say about any of these names either. And it's just like there's no love for this space right now. And I'm just hoping that it can go meme crazy again. And hopefully some of these cannabis names will continue one more time to the upside when we get some squeeze. Because honestly, I got to get the heck out of these, man. This has been a bad run for cannabis. Ugh.
I mean, a lot of markets are kind of, I guess at this point, there are a little, markets have been going strong, are a little exhausted as we come to the end of the year. Yeah. I think it's fair to say. And a lot of these names that have been high flyers are taking a break. Specifically, Apple. We noticed that Apple was sitting, or everyone would notice that Apple was sitting not too far away from its $3 trillion stock price, which was north of 182, I believe.
At 182.84.
182.84. That's where everybody was looking. Oh, you know what? If it gets up there, first $3 trillion company. And it decides that it doesn't want to get as close. It wants to get close, but it doesn't want to take the leap to take it out. So here we are kind of going sideways after a nice run in Apple since the beginning of last week. Here we are, just taking a break. And if the market's taking a break, you got to take a break too, right? It's just one of those things where you don't overdo things. You don't force moves. If for me today, I've got 5 positions total, barring the one series position, which was a test for the production side of our show. But I've got 5 positions total, or 5 stocks total, and I've made 1 trade in each one of them. And I'm holding on to 2 right now that I've had. One of them I've had since like early this morning, not like 9:50 in the morning. So here we are almost 30 minutes from the close, or just past 30 minutes from the close, and we're still waiting for this market to do something, or at least AMD to do something. And that's what you're dealing with as you kind of get into the end of the year for a lot of these movers. We are starting to see some activity though on the futures now.
Yes, sir.
As it takes out that 47.85 level. Okay, this might interest me as we get closer to the end of the day. This is first time we've breached that 47.85 and actually stayed below it. So this is definitely interesting to see. If we bounce back up and fail, I might step into some positions here on the futures. We'll see how this plays out, but I'll give it some time. But I want to see how this area trades. There should be some more sell side activity coming through here. If there isn't, I'll walk away from that idea. But for now, I'm going to look at the short side potential on the futures. AMD obviously is back and forth. I'm in the money, I'm out of the money. Now I'm out of the money 2 cents. Now I'm in the money 2 cents. It's all over the place. And as the market goes down, AMD is going as well. And SoFi, again, we're trailing this south of 16. So we're not really going to get too. SoFi, there's really nothing to do. You either stop me out, or you whatever the price we close at, or once the amounts has come out, if I'm still in it, I'll dump it once we get to that point. And there you go. There's the sell side activity on the futures as we get through that 85 area. Okay, I might start taking a peek at how the futures want to play this game here.
All right. Yeah, so NeoCall's being printed today. Yeah, NeoCall's definitely being printed today. We got out of Palantir. But like you, I'm also in AMD, and this is just tanking right now. We're $2.50 in the money on AMD. We noticed that it was weak yesterday, so we did short it again today. So a good trade so far on NIO, on NIO as well. But AMD falling down. Neo, I mean, this is honestly a little disappointed here. We've been short. These are the best outs that I have. We're nicely. Neo almost like one of my top stock, like getting close to being a top stock for me today. We don't have many winners, but the ones we do have been pretty fantastic, including this AMD one that we have on board, and now including NIO. Another good one, obviously, we had Palantir running to the upside as well today off this little print down here at 18. What a great run that was. We got out right there at 75 break. And then we do have a good trade. My number one stock, though, today is Lucid. And we just, it was on the sticky note. We believed in it. We put on some shares here and got out. And it's funny, that's my number one stock, and we miss the whole move up. So yikes on that one. Ford red today. So there's that look as well. Let's see if that's at near 2050. Yeah, so 2050, a nice bouncing spot here for Ford as well. Good, yeah, good bounce there. So Ford in the pre-market had this nice move. Look at Ford get lifted here up to $21. Wow, that is back to 24-year highs or 21-year highs right here on Ford. 21.50 is the high there. We're first long at $6 down here on Ford. So, my account is definitely nicely in the money on this name, but we have been taking some out to raise some capital, and we bought Nvidia and Meta. So we've been buying Facebook lately. We also bought some Nucor. We bought some Nike. And then just today, I actually tweet this out. I actually sent it over to Brendan. We bought Hut 8, and we bought the Ethereum Trust and the Bitcoin Trust. So I stepped in today, bought some more crypto. So let's wait to see where that goes. Just throwing some money around, just rotating it in and out. I think crypto has a big run in it this year. I was listening to Tom Lee, super smart guy. Although he predicted 100K on Bitcoin, I don't know if we're going to get to there, but just some of the parabolic moves that Bitcoin can have, it can be back up to 70 in a flash. So I think it's worth it right now for Bitcoin to take a little bit of a run higher. So we did buy some of this today. We'll go for a daily chart here because I don't really care about Bitcoin intraday. I am not trading Bitcoin. I'm trying to invest in Bitcoin. We're trading more, the Cardanos I've gotten in and out of a little bit. But for Bitcoin, I'm trying to hold it. It was my lightest holding. And now that I'm just looking at Bitcoin right now, and call me crazy, but I'm looking at this like a normal chart here. I'm looking at this like, do we have some love, and do we have a little bit of a base forming down here at 46? And then even if I'm wrong right here, we could buy some more and buy some more. Like, I'm okay. It's like buying a stock. Like, all you should really do is, because Bitcoin is just like trading fractional shares, man. You don't have to buy one share of Tesla. You could buy your 1% of Bitcoin, put in your $5,000 right now, buy it, and then as it goes up, that's what's happening. So I'm looking at this like a $47 stock right now with a base at 40, and I like moving forward in this name. So if I want to be buying stocks like Palantir and Tesla or whatever, which obviously different spaces than this, but both of these names are loved by a lot of the same people. So let's see what happens here with Bitcoin moving forward. Is it a scam? That's going to be up to you to decide. I feel like there's real world uses here. El Salvador already made the move. So let's see if there's other economies that switch over into BTC. And if that does happen, then boom goes the dynamite. We've had some negative Nancy's come on and really beat this down. But I just think Bitcoin has room to the upside. That's that.
And what has room to the downside? AMD sitting 5 cents from day lows that were put in this morning, not too long before we got that short. But here we go. Looking like we want to take a look at that low here at 145.59. That's a low from this morning. And here we are moving down from that 146. So finally, as we get that movement in AMD, another name that I actually had on the side chart here, I wasn't really paying attention to it, but the movement is interesting though. NVIDIA. After a sharp move to the upside from 297 all the way up to 304, we're absolutely losing ground. And the reason why this is interesting to me is because of what the chart looks like. We were set to go to the upside. There should have been no problem to the upside. The fact that we ran up strong was great. And then for us to kind of just lose ground and just kind of leak to the downside, this is the problem. I'm going to be it's one of those trades where I want to keep an eye on how this is going to play tomorrow, because if you don't get volume to support the buy side move tomorrow, downside is in trouble, I think, on NVIDIA, at least until 290 into the 288 and change area. So keep an eye on NVIDIA, especially with this movement in the late afternoon, or I guess since, what time is this? Since 11:30 this morning. It's been a problem, and I think NVIDIA is setting up for something. We just got to figure out what it is for tomorrow. Brendan?
One that I was watching this morning, guys, KPRX just popping back up on volume here through day highs at 160. Recent addition here, but 160, 165. This is a huge area for the stock, so more volume coming back in on the buy side for KPRX.
All right, let's do a like run here, because honestly, man, there's 3,000 people watching. We don't even have 1,000 likes. We're at 787. So let's get going on this likes, guys, if you can. I think we've done pretty good today. We've talked, we've had some fun. We've made some predictions for you. We've made some calls. We've talked crypto. So let's get these likes going. And if we can, we'll throw over to Miss V when she's ready, and we'll do a quick little like go. So let's go, Randy, over to Miss V.
Sean, you're absolutely right, guys. Come on, just 150 likes are needed to 1,000. If you just joined us, please make sure you like this video. If you are not logged into YouTube, do so, because your support means so much to us. And we were saying that before, but likes improve our YouTube algorithms, which helps the show so much. More people can find us on YouTube, and only you can help us. So guys, likes absolutely free for you, but priceless to us.
Thank you, Miss V. And there it is, man. Get ready, Rob. Hit that old man, because it is 1,000 likes right now. Thank you, Miss V, for that. And thank you to all of you as well. There it is. Where is that? We'll get that going like that. There he is, going crazy in a minute. Hopefully, we'll have that guy come up there. There it is. Let's get the count. Let's get the count. Let's get the count. There it is. Yes, sir. 1,000 likes. Thank you for that love as well. Yeah, we are very, What? No, we would love to do that, Papa Boy. We want to raise the likes. I mean, we want, what is it? What was it, 3,000 likes on the market movers, and Prad goes blonde. Isn't that what that is, Miss V? Yeah, so Trader Prad, right, Trader Prad, thumbs up. There it is, yeah. So, 3,000 likes on the market movers show, which we have like 12,000 people watching that, like, on a daily basis. Like, just hit the like button, and then I was going to call him Praddy Daddy, but I know that's Miss V's line there. So, and then Prad, let's call him Pradley Beal, because, I don't even know if he knows who that is, but Pradley Beal, you know who Bradley Beal is? What team? There you go. Yeah, he's a baller. You're right there. So good call there. He's a baller. Washington, and really talented dudes there. So we were looking at like Pradley Cooper, Pradley Beal, Pradley Pitt. I mean, there's so many names. What a unique name. And he was actually big up to, your mom and pops there. Great name there. We love Trader Prad. There's only one and the only, and we've got him. So we're happy for that. Okay, Neo, just a review here. Neo making the move down here. I don't know. I know, Arun, you've talked about waiting for the imbalances to come out to see if there's anything going to hit here. Yeah. Is that, you're doing that on AMD, right? Is that your only position? I haven't even know.
AMD and SoFi.
Oh, you have SoFi, yeah. So two NASDAQ names. Well, actually, SoFi, yeah, I guess two NASDAQ names there. So that's going to come out at 350. Neo has just been bouncing around here. I'm just wondering if we just take the 70 cents here. Oh, and congratulations to Brian James, who put a put on up here when I was talking about it. So hopefully that's printing cash, and the cash register go boom. Oops, hit the wrong one. That's not the... Hopefully the cash register doesn't do that. If your cash register does that, man, just throw it in the garbage. But there it is. Boom, right there. So hopefully that is printing for you, Mr. James. As now we go right down the downside right now. Tank City happening in the market right now. A nice move coming in here to close out the day. Wow, a nice move to the downside coming in. So I don't know what this is going to do for the futures, what this is going to do for these imbalances coming through, but it looks like a nice little red move here. As there goes AMD, like you'll go, yeah. This is now $3 in the money, man, on this AMD short. Like, wow, short. So finally, your boy, Inner Diamond Hands on this AMD trade, $3 now in the money. We have this, guys, top to bottom right now. So that's a good trade here for AMD as we continue to try to hold this one. Let's see where we go on here. Facebook still green on the day. I love me some Meta, 345 right now on FB. Yeah,
futures heading to the downside. I remember I considered the possibility of shorting that 84 and change. I never ended up taking it. I was like, I don't know. The risk was too high at that time of day. I was like, so I kind of stayed away from it. But the read was there. But AMD finally starting to make a move. Great. All it took was forever. all morning and all afternoon, and here we are in the final little bit, up 50 cents on AMD, and SoFi is coming through that 16, so we're going to be getting out of SoFi soon. I think as soon as it takes out 90, I think I'll go ahead and get out. But AMD taking out the lows, at this point, you got to see what these imbalances are. It has to be the imbalances that need to be looked at just because of the way it's moving, right? Why would I walk away from a 45-cent winner if the imbalances come out negative? Yeah, if the imbalances come out positive, worst case scenario, I get out flat, right? Well, maybe even a 20, 30-cent loss is fine with me. But I'll take that chance on these imbalances just so we can get a downside flush. If we get that downside flush, I think it can accelerate. And that's what we're hoping for, right, Brendan?
Just checking on this NYSE going crazy right now, guys. Big volume coming into this one. Just went from 7 up to 9 on huge volume for NYSE.
And thank you so much, Brendan.
Dada.
For that one. And so we're both in AMD, man. And obviously your price is right here. And I'm just trying to agree with you a little bit that we got to sort of wait for this imbalance. It is tending to look like it's going to be red here as we look at the NASDAQ fading out. So if AMD does come for a decent sell, and those of you that are wondering, I know Arun has it up on his screen, and he's done a great job explaining the imbalances for everybody when they come out. So we're just going to look here. You see the time? This is all going to update in about 2 minutes. It's going to rock and roll, and we'll see what happens there over the next 2 minutes in these imbalances, and we'll just move on from there and see where we go. But I don't know. We'll wait. Tomorrow may be obviously a little bit more exciting for the imbalances because it's going to be year end. So people closing out their positions, possibly just having to mark it out or market on close. That's what basically we're looking at here. These are all market on close orders that are going to come into the market and affect these stock prices. You're going to see AMD just whip around like nuts if it's a sell imbalance. I might just put this down to one. You know what? I'm going to put a bid Arun down at like 145 flat. And if it just somehow tanks down there on a negative Nancy number, then yeah, I'm going to get out of that one. So we're going to get out here. We're already $3 right now in the money on AMD, and we don't want this one to spit away from us. So we still do have our stop order to make sure it's still there. Yeah, it's at 146.25, so it's right here. So worst case scenario, we're going to lose 75 cents, which sucks on the way back up, but this is well worth it for me on that risk. I don't want to put one right here. I think 145.80, a little bit too risky to put a stop order there because you could go doot doot and come all the way back down. But with only now 45 seconds to go, if you're good, Arun, I'll keep going on this one. But Tesla, wow, okay. On this move down, guys, and we'll just keep this on here just to show you Tesla back to 1070. So what was our short that we were worried about, all you had to do, Sean, was hold it all day. Bing bong. You would have had a nice little winner there. Was that better, Brad? Yeah, that was all right. So we're going to find out about that, what Bing bong's all about. I like that. Down to the downside here. So we'll wait to see if 1070 breaks here on Tesla. That's another level of importance. That is for sure. So let's wait to see, as we only have now 10 seconds to go before affects the imbalances right now. So here they come right now, coming out to the downside. Let's see. Boom. So we're going to watch out for Tesla here. Actually, my most concern is AMD. So we'll watch out here. Dougie coming out here as a 1.87. Intel's here as a sell as well. Palantir's as a sell. We're already out. I don't see much, but bing bong. There goes AMD right down to the downside. A nice move right down to 145. We did not have our bid out there, but there goes AMD. Let's take it out. $3 in the money. Gronk spike. There you go. That's for Tampa Bay there. Trader Prad. He's on Tampa Bay. The Gronk spike down to the downside for the market.
Yeah, and Doug is the buy side imbalance. That's 3.5 million shares. Damn, that's big. Let's take a quick look at Doug on the imbalance. Doug, New York? No, it's NASDAQ. New York. Yeah, it is. Whoa, wow. Okay, 2.6 million shares and only done 2.5 on the day. What does this chart look like on Doug?
There has to be some rebalancing there.
It has to be something towards the end of the year. Special case scenario. Yeah, Doug running here. Since this information came out, it's already up 20 cents. Okay. So keep an eye on Doug. That seems to be the only one in play at the moment. Everything else seems to be a sell side action here. Intel sell side, ACHR, SUNL, all sell side. So here we are, only one big name, and this is the problem when there's only one big name, everyone's looking at it, right? So this might just completely just change course and go from a buy to a sell because of the overexposure. AMD, okay, AMD, still going strong. We're probably going to end up getting out of SoFi soon. Because my stop is sitting right there. And AMD accelerating to the sell side because I guess the imbalance was, oh man, I forgot to turn this off. There we go.
Oh, the shake? How do
yeah.
you turn the shake off?
You gotta go into some settings, and I think Randy's got to do it because I couldn't find it in that setting panel.
Man, I'm so nervous about that shake because like it's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I'm not gonna be able to get out, and I don't even know if it happens on my computer. I'm not even gonna test it because it sometimes. The shimmy shake. Actually, shout out to Trader Pratt again. We talked about shimmy shake on his show. Okay, I don't know, man. AMD just tank city right now.
Just wait for it. Right? At 355, we're going to get the update. And at 355, if AMD moves to the upside, I'm out. If 355, AMD moves to the downside. Wait that long? Oh, no, I'm just going to get out flat, right? Or get out of my short.
So no matter what, 355, that's the goal.
No. If it changes, if the imbalance is a buy, if it flips to a buy, and the stock goes up, I'm out.
Bingo,
but
bongo.
if it were to stay on the sell side and AMD accelerates to the sell side, oh yeah, I'm staying in.
Yeah,
we'll ride this one right to the end.
Right to the end. Okay, that's a good move. So I'm like in the money $3 here, and although I like that idea, I'm gonna. Where did I put my out, first of all? I put it out if it breaks through 50, but it's going to do that very, very soon. So this might not be a great call by me, but I'm going to take the print anyways. If it breaks back down above 50, we'll get out. And that's just the way I'm trading. But I do like what you're saying. It's very, very close to happening. I want this 355 to happen ASAP right now. We did get out of our NEO. We only have one piece left. It's now the 10%. Not much noise here on NEO, on the imbalance. It's just kind of moving around here. Not doing much, but there's the out at 22. So now just holding one last piece. Like that's really, NEO now, one of the top stocks for me today. AMD is going to have that spot. It's going to be AMD number 1. It's going to be Lucid number 2. It's going to be Palantir number 3, and then NEO number 4. Worst trade today for me, unfortunately, is going to be Tesla, which is crazy because it's right back to where it was, but we did short this name and probably used too many shares. So Tesla right now, a negative stock for me today, but still really happy with performance today. Battle all day long. Considering the market was for a little bit of the day, nothing wrong with seeing some accelerations now to the downside as we only have one more minute, Arun, and AMD kind of just dancing around these levels. So We'll see where we go from here. My eyes keep on going. Let's check out BIIB, actually. That was a name that, so back down to 240. So not much happening on Biogen today after Samsung, it wasn't Samsung Electronics, it was Samsung something else, but Group, right, yeah. So came out and denied this big move up yesterday on a possible buyout. I still think if Biogen's for sale, people will be lining up. So, I don't think that that's going to be a problem for shareholders. I actually like this move. I think it's a good opportunity to get long this name. And with that being said, I should actually probably just do that. Get long some Biogen now. I like it at down 7% today. I like the chart on a daily. We're already below some of these levels. I don't know why Biogen even made this kind of a move down. So more work needs to be done, but I like Biogen here. And we're getting close to that refresh as AMD just taking out new lows right now. So looks like the hold was a good one, Arun. There it is. Let's go, baby. This is a big trade for me, man. $3.20 now in the money and still accelerating. So here we go. There's 355 right now. Let's see what AMD does. It looks like maybe, do you have it there on the thing?
I'm going to move my stop to where you have it, just north of 50. See if it goes.
Yeah, 145.50, both Arun and I looking to get out. It doesn't look like the imbalance has flipped around anything. Apple still to sell. So let's see what Apple's doing right now. Apple, remember what we said, man, last time it was near a trillion mark, it kept on getting faded. So here's Apple still going down, making new lows now on Apple, making new lows, Arun, on AMD as well as we get ready to rock and roll that one. Lucid, though, saying, hold my beer, we're a bid. So Lucid going back up to the upside now as well. That's my long down there. Starbucks. Oh, I apologize, guys. There was a lot of talk on the chat about Starbucks today. What is it doing? Yeah, big move to the downside there on this imbalance. Wow, so Starbucks not taking the sell imbalance for granted at all. A big move down there for Starbucks.
Yeah, AMD actually is a buy imbalance of 36,000 shares.
Okay, so it's just following the market right now.
Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot. It's very small. It's not going to really impact the end of the day, but there could be some program activity, which is what I'm relying on. I think that 145 is a great target there. I think as we get closer to the close, 4 o'clock, I think I might just start dumping some. What I'm planning on doing is maybe put it just underneath 145 so that in the event that 145 break stops go off, I get hit on the cross and then it snaps back up. So I'm probably going to go like 80 something on the bid here and see if we get that fill. All right, let's put a bid down here and see if we get a fill on the cross as it takes out 145. What'd you do?
I got out.
Oh.
Whatever, man. Let's ring the bell, man. It's a great trade. I just took it out for $3.29 there out. But we didn't mean to get out there. I was trying to do the same thing you were doing, and instead I put 145.70.
Oh, that just
yeah. So it marketed me out there 145.70. I really, really like that play, man. You see that you're going to be the one getting wicked out, right? So that's the best part. So like right here, like when it broke this low, it wicked down like 30 cents. So that's why I was going to 144.70, but instead we flukily buy out at 13. So we didn't mean to do that, but still a $3.30 trade for me today definitely got me feeling like walking on water. So only right now 3 minutes left in the day. We actually cashed out of our NIO as well. That was a good trade, man. And yeah, successful day all around. Really happy with today. Arun, again, I mean, I keep. It's like we have a bromance here, but again, thank you for stepping up. It really meant a lot to us. We won't do this to you next year when we all take our vacations on the very last month of the year. Hopefully we'll do it a little bit earlier. We already have some summer plans, so they won't be filling in for me near Christmas time. But thank you to Arun, and I know just on behalf of everybody on the chat, I think you've added a lot to everybody's toolbox. So thank you, Mr. Arun.
Yeah, I'm just watching the end here. 145. It's struggling. I mean, there's a lot of volume sitting at 145. If you're watching, I was watching the tape, and it's going absolutely nuts at 145. There's a lot of selling coming through. There's a massive iceberg order on the actual level, the even level. You can see it here at 27,000. It's moving fast now. But at 28,000 shares, but there's more than 28,000 shares on NASDAQ. You see it there, but if there's more than that, that's an iceberg. That's what you see on the front end. On the back end, there's a ton. And you see 200 shares now, but yet it can't go because there's a lot more behind it. So that's what we're looking for. I am looking for the flush, though. I'm leaving the order there, and I'm looking for that flush. But if they can't take it as we get closer to the end, okay, you know what? I might just have to dump this. This is not going to go, it seems like.
Yeah, it might, man. Well, you don't have too much longer now.
No, I don't have too much longer, and there seems to be a decent amount of volume there. I just took the 145. Forget it.
You're flat. Do you want to go run to the bell quickly?
I can do the bell.
Yeah, people are asking for the bell, so we're going to give. There we go. You see what I'm talking about? Randy, step aside, man. It is about time. So there we go. I remembered. I got you guys. Man of the people, giving you guys what you want. It's going to be Arun on the bell and my partner in crime, Randy.
Yo.
How's it going? Good. We only have a minute left here. Are you in tomorrow with us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So,
oh, yeah.
Shoot, I have to get 2 bottles? Okay, so we're getting ready to rock and roll here. Oh, God, here we go. All right, so we're getting ready. That was your line. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay,
it's
so
on the back of my boat.
Yeah, exactly.
My boat's called Here We Go.
And I want to be one of the first to go in that ocean when you get one. You know, I want to take us. We'll cruise around. We'll cruise around Toronto, like that guy we had on the show. He has the big Bitcoin on there. Why don't we just get Trader TV Live to pay for your ocean, and then we'll put a nice little. Yeah, that's
Here we go.
That's not going to happen. But we will try to do that. We slap it on
Where's
there
the bell
and
thing?
get ready to rock and roll. So yeah, I'm getting ready to hit it.
Countdown?
So the countdown will be coming up in about 15 seconds. We're ready to close this market. So here we go. The countdown is now on. So here we go with only 10 seconds left. It's Arun ringing the bell. Thank you so much, Arun. He is Superman. The S on his chest. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow, okay. Now it's broken. There we go. There we go. That's a wrap on the year. Yeah, Arun with a violent move there. Thank you so much, Arun. That means a lot to us. Everybody in the chat loves Arun, and now they may just be even more scared of him. I do not want to be that cowbell straight from Switzerland. We may have to get a new one. Brendan, how did we wind up?
One and done. I love it. Back to red. Unfortunately, that was an ugly slide into the close there, guys. 0.25% for the S&P, 0.4 for the Nasdaq. It was tech that led that sell-off there. You can see 0.14 for the Dow. It was 5 sessions in a row all to the upside for the Dow. So maybe in need of a little bit of a pullback. But yeah, a bit of a negative close there, to say the least.
Yeah, and Arun, so that mallet is broken, correct?
I don't know. I gotta look. I gotta look on the floor. But hey, you know what? The way I trade.
Yeah, it
destroyed.
Broke. It definitely broke.
Right. The way I trade, the way I'm gonna hit the bell, it's always gonna be that one-shot kill. It's not broken. I didn't think
it just fell out of your hand.
Yeah, I think it just fell out of my hand.
Okay, the impact blew that out of your hand. Wow. Yeah, go ahead, Arun. So, any last words here? We'll see you. I don't know if we'll see you tomorrow for the futures in the morning. Maybe not.
You'll see me in the morning. I'll do the 9 a.m. update. But
bing bong.
There you go. I'll do the 9 a.m. update. But in terms of trading, I have no clue when I'll be back. It'll be a while, to put it the least. So best of luck to everyone who is trading. Be smart about your trades. Hopefully, the time that I've spent here, you guys have learned something, maybe, from everything that I've done, and hopefully that translates into great profits for next year.
Guys, the trade of the day is going to be Palantir. We'll have that right after this. A big thank you again, of course, Rob on the ones and twos all day with Randy. Thank you so much, Rob, for doing everything for us. Thank you to Maggie for organizing everything as we're understaffed here. Randy, thanks for filling in. Very, very good today. Great yesterday with the talk on all the cars. His pick of the year going to be Ford and Tesla in this space. Thank you to Trader Prad over there. There he is. Yeah, what's up, Trader Prad? Great show again. I mean, I can't say enough. If you're not watching that Market Movers, you're missing out on something. I just sit here for fun and listen to these guys. So it's been absolutely fantastic. And it wouldn't be Market Movers without Ms. V. So thank you once again, Valeria, for everything that you bring to the show. And I'm almost doing like a year-end wrap right now, but we'll do that tomorrow and thank everybody. And of course, Brendan. Yeah, and we'll go on the Brendan, always coming back in with the news and everything. We missed Brendan last week when he wasn't here.
Woof, 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 woof.
Just so you know, Brendan, that's not even on my board.
No, it's not.
No, it's Rob. Rob gets paid to do this.
Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? So, anyways, Rob, we can't go without anybody in our team. So, an absolutely fantastic day here one more time. We'll see everybody tomorrow. It's the last trading day of the year. We're excited. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Neil Roberts, back in the building tomorrow. So, safe travels to you, my friend, and we'll see him tomorrow. Everyone have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.